We were walking down the corridor looking for our dressing room. There's a big red door and a big star on it that said Michael Jackson, Mick Flinn, John Bloody Williams. He said, no, better than that. Why don't you come up and conduct the orchestra? I said, you've got to be kidding me. And I'm going, I don't know what to do with this thing.
Mungo Jerry, he was slagging you off a bit.
Well, you can imagine, I mean, they wouldn't play his record in Australia. And we covered it, and we had a #1 record with it. I was packing up my gear, and it was under my amp. I said, oh, here it is. And he said, well, can you take it to Tom at the hotel? So I've got something for Tom Jones. I went up and knocked on his door. He opened the door, and he went, yeah. Just done this record with Donna, and it got banned. Radio 1 wouldn't play it. They said it was too suggestive. 2 days later, it was in Sydney. Within 3 or 4 weeks, it was #1.
What advice would you give to someone who's starting out today?
Well,
hey everyone, amazing to be here today with Mick Flinn. I was very fortunate to meet him across my journey busking at every station on the London Underground, and at station 209 is where I met Mick. Yeah. What a day that was.
Yeah. It was a great day.
Yeah, no, thanks so much for coming down that day. And
that's all right.
Yes,
no worries.
It was, and to hear about your story, it was, yeah, just phenomenal. Yeah, I'm so glad I did this challenge, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't have met you.
Which story was that?
the whole story, yeah. I mean, it's...
we haven't got time for the whole story.
Oh, I mean, yeah, could chat to you for ages. Yeah, like, I would just love to know how it all started in Australia. You said you're from Melbourne, right?
Yeah, Melbourne, based and born in Melbourne. And I started off really when I was about 13, singing.
Yeah.
Not really singing, I was just in a couple of competitions. When I was away on holidays and stuff, and I won.
Yeah.
I won a competition, and all of a sudden I became somebody at the holiday resort who could sing every night. And I used to go and sing with the band every night. And I was only like 13. My voice hadn't broken.
Right.
So I was doing hippie hippie shakes. Remember hippie hippie shakes? Oh, for goodness sake.
Oh yeah.
Hippie, hippie shake.
Yeah.
But I had a really high voice. For goodness sake.
And you won a competition for that?
Yeah, well, you know, one of those silly little things that people get up and sing.
Yeah.
Back in those days, everyone sings nowadays, but back in our day, not many people sang.
Right. Okay.
And until really karaoke.
Yeah.
I think karaoke got more people singing when they had backing tracks and stuff, and in pubs and that, they get up and they sing along with a backing track that sounded great.
Yeah.
And it gave them confidence to, bang it out. And or suddenly realised they could sing. And wow, look what's happened. It's gone crazy.
Wow. And did the music start, can you remember like when you first got into music?
Well, yeah, but started to sing in these little places, and then I sort of didn't carry on with the singing thing. I just had a normal job, and then my mates across the road started a little band, and they had a guitarist and a drummer, and then got another rhythm guitarist, and they never had a bass player. But so they said, and I used to go to rehearsals all the time and hang around with them, and so they said, well, why don't you be the bass player? And I went, well, I could be the bass player, and they said, well, hurry up. Go and get yourself a bass. And my father was a bass player. My father was a musician and a big band leader in Melbourne. So I thought, well, he plays bass, so he'll teach me.
Right, yeah.
So he went out and bought me a bass to join this group, but he wouldn't teach me.
Okay, right.
Because I said, Dad, can you teach me to play the bass? He said, yeah, okay, let's start. So he said, the first thing I'll do is learn to read music. Okay. So I said, no, I don't want to read music. I just want to play the guitar.
Yeah.
So he said, no, you can't do that. You have to read music first and understand what music is all about. So I went, no, I don't want to do that. So he said, well, I won't teach you. Oh, right. So I had to learn myself. So I went along. My dad bought me a bass, and I went along for the band, and the guitarist just said, well, it's that note there. Play that. Dum 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 dum, and then change to that note. Dum 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 dum. Yeah. And that's how I learned the first bit. But my dad always, in the early days, said to me, what you really need to do before you do anything is learn every note on the fretboard. Every one of those, what the names were. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, B, C, C sharp, D. Right up here, and then the next string, blah, 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 until you knew them all, because then you could, at any time, you could call on a G. You know where the G is, and there's another G over there, which was really clever. Yeah. And so that, him teaching me that, well, he didn't teach me it, making me learn it, I was able to play bass and do anything then.
Oh wow!
It was great.
And did you pick guitar up at the same time, or was
No,
it
no,
bass?
I didn't play guitar back in this. I was a bass player for the first sort of 20 years.
Wow, yeah.
And then I just changed over to guitar in England. I started playing guitar in England. I could play the odd chord at home, but probably all the chords and everything, I learned them all here.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, it's good.
That's awesome. And so, as a kid aspiring to be a musician, growing up in Australia, what was that sort of like? How would that be sort of received with friends and family? And
well, you got to remember it was different in those days.
Yeah.
We go back a few years, you know.
Yeah.
And back in the 60s, when the Beatles just came out from nowhere, it was amazing.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like in those days in Melbourne, there were probably about a dozen beat bands, little rock and roll bands and stuff. I'll get arguments with everyone. They'll say, no, there's more than 12 or whatever. But a very small amount of bands. So everyone got a gig, plenty of gigs around to look after everyone. Whereas nowadays, there are thousands upon thousands of bands and singers, and you're lucky to get a gig.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas back then, it was the early days. We were in the very first days of rock and roll, really.
That's
and
awesome.
The best days of rock and roll.
Yeah.
So it was always still hard to get gigs, you know, from nothing. But we, as a little group, we used to just play whenever we could. You know, the four of us would get together. We only knew like half a dozen songs between us, you know, all together as a band, and we'd go and play in our mates' barbecues. We'd go get in the garage and bang out some songs while they all had a barbecue, and it'd be great fun. So we just played whenever we could, anywhere we could. So it was great days.
And did you meet your band members at school? Or was it
my band members started with the drummer across the road. He was my best mate when we were growing up. We went to school together and everything. And then another guy came over from Tasmania, Peter Nicol. He was a really good guitar player and a great singer.
Yeah.
And so he had a lot of experience in Tasmania with a top group over there. So he was really good to have in the band to learn from. And the other guy was just another mate who lived around the corner, and he had a rhythm guitar and all that sort of stuff. So we became then the Pressmen, because we were called the Pressmen because we came from Preston.
Oh, right.
Original. And but then we changed our names when we got a gig at the biggest nightclub, or the first nightclub in Melbourne, which was called Pinocchio's, and that was a really big gig, and we were a resident group there. And then we changed our name to the Wild Colonials.
Wild Colonials. I remember you saying, yeah.
So,
brilliant. And with the Wild Colonials, did you do any touring with them?
Oh yeah, we did. Well, we were a resident group at this club for about a year and a half or something like that, and that was 7 nights a week. We couldn't do anything else, so we gave up our day jobs and did that professionally, and became professional straight away then. We were age of about 16, I think I was when I did that. And we did a few tours. When we left Pinocchio's, we went out on the road with a new manager and agents and stuff, and we did the Tom Jones tour.
You toured with Tom Jones?
Yeah. And,
amazing. What was Tom? Did you meet Tom Jones many times?
Well, we were on the tour with him.
Yeah.
We did. In fact, I found one night he was on stage, throwing himself all over the stage, and he had a rabbit's foot around his neck, little rabbit's foot chain around his neck, and it flew off his neck onto the stage somewhere, and after his gig he said, "Oh, I've lost my necklace," you know, and so the manager came up and said, "If you find it on the stage, can you let me know?" So I was packing up my gear and it was under my amp, so I said, "Oh, here it is," and he said, "Well, can you take it to Tom at the hotel?"
Right.
And in those days, you could get to the hotel and get into the hotel. And I said, "Tom Jones, I've got something for Tom Jones." They said, "Yeah, floor 4, blah, 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 number." So I went up and knocked on his door, and he opened the door and he went, "Yeah, what is it?" And I said, "Well, I found your lucky rabbit's foot." He said, "Thanks." Walked in, slammed the door in the face. I went, "Thanks, Tom."
Oh, gee.
Well, he was quite busy, I think, at the time.
Okay, yeah.
So anyway.
Oh, so there's not really, you didn't see that sense of relief in his face to have been reunited with his necklace.
No.
No, okay. Oh, well.
I think I was getting in the way or something, possibly.
No, I'm sure he was grateful on the inside.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, amazing. I remember you mentioning the Animals as well. They were around and about.
Yeah, the Animals were around, yeah.
Well,
all the bands were.
Yeah.
But yeah, we toured with the 1910 Fruit Company, American band. Well, that was another group. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up now. But the Wild Colonials did quite a few different tours.
Right.
And we used to travel to Perth and Sydney and all the other places around Australia and do gigs and TVs and things. We did a lot of television those days.
Okay.
There were a lot of little TV shows going on.
So were you doing a lot of interviews and
well,
like
interviews
live
and live gigs,
TV shows,
live
yeah.
playing, yeah. It was good stuff.
And was it sort of full on, like was it very fast paced and hard to kind of catch a break from, or was it quite an enjoyable?
No, it was really enjoyable because we were the first ones to do these things.
Yeah.
And it was amazing, great stuff.
That's so cool, yeah. Because I imagine, I mean, that's what from the outside it seems like a ton of fun, and
well, you know how much fun it is.
Yeah, I mean that's busking at those stations.
How did you get started?
Oh well, I suppose I think I was at uni actually, and I was a bit bored with what, I just wanted to try something a bit different, and wasn't, I'd play a bit of sport, I'd go to uni, I'd work part-time, and felt I needed another hobby, so I just picked up the guitar, and I think it was the night before my 18th birthday. I was thinking what I really wanted to have for my 18th, and I thought, you know what, it would be brilliant to be able to wake up and be able to play a few chords on guitar. So I practiced. I've took out the old beaten guitar we had in our closet. We were lucky to have one. And I should have picked it up years ago. And I just spent the night learning the G chord, D chord, E minor chord, C chord, and so that my present to myself would be being able to strum a few chords in the morning. Yeah. And that's kind of how it all started. And
oh, great.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a good thing, to get into, and really happy with where it's taken me so far. Yeah. Cool. Do you remember when you picked up the bass? Was it quite frustrating, the initial phases of learning? Because I remember with my fingers it took a bit of time getting used to. But
no, well, bass is a harder instrument to thump on all the time. It's quite big strings and tough stuff. Yeah. And really, an old bad bass is really hard to play. Yeah. But no, that's all I knew. That's all I'd known. And I'd never played acoustic guitar. I could never put all the notes in the right place for that. Whereas a bass, you just have to hit one note most of the time, But my very first gig on bass, really, I played a few gigs with the Wild Colonials or Pressmen in those days, with the band that we knew. And this is a lovely little story for people, around. But you just put, all you got to do is, I think, in the business, is be very positive about everything and just go for it. Go for everything. If somebody says, "Can you do that?" always say, "Yeah, of course," even if you can't, because when you get there, you'll work out a way of doing it, whatever it is. But this is a little thing that happened when I was first starting. I'd only had my bass probably for about a few weeks or something, and as I said, my dad was a bass player, and he was out doing a gig one night, and he was gigging a lot, but he was out this night on a Saturday night, and I was at home alone and just hanging out, and the doorbell went, so I went to the front door and opened the door, and there was a guy standing there, and he said, "Is your dad home?" And I said, "No, who are you?" And he said, "I'm Graham. I'm the drummer. I'm the drummer." And he said, "I need your dad. Where is he?" I said, "He's doing a gig tonight. He's out gigging." He said, "Oh no." He said, "I need a bass player. I'm doing a gig and I need a bass player. I've got a jazz group and it's all happening. And what am I going to do?" He said, "Oh, hang on a minute. You play bass, don't you?" He said, "Your dad told me you were playing bass." And I said, "Well, no, I'm not playing. I'm not really a bass player." And I said, "I'm useless at that." And I said, "I could never play any jazz or anything." I said, "Ridiculous. I can hardly even play anything." I said, "I've just got it. Just started." He said, "Well, you've got one. You got a bass and an amp?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Okay, you're on. You got the gig tonight." I said, No. Yeah. He said, "Go and get your dad's tuxedo out of the wardrobe. Put your dad's tuxedo on, and we're going." So he took the amp, he put it in his car and everything, and I went, oh my God. So I went and got the tuxedo on, went out and got in the car, and we started driving. I'm going, oh look, mate, I'm really can't do this. You know, I'm going to make a fool of myself. And he said, don't worry, I'll talk you through it on the way there. He said, it's not that difficult, really, seriously. And I said, yeah, not for you, maybe. You're a drummer. So anyway, he said, just remember one thing. He said, do you know all the notes on the fretboard? And I said, yes, I do. My dad told me that, or taught me that. And he said, okay. He said, that's all you need to know. He said, so when we get there, I won't tell anybody you've never played, right? I'll just tell them you're a bass player and you're our bass player tonight, Alan Flynn's son.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, okay. So he said, now this is what you do. He said, I'll tell the piano player to shout out each key before you start, before whatever the song is starts. He said, so if it's in C, for instance, he'll just say, okay, what's the key? C. Okay, fine. What is it? Oh, well, some song. I've never heard it before in my life. So he said, it's in C. So he said, remember, just start on C.
Yeah.
And finish on C.
Okay.
He said, and just in the middle, all the rest of it, just have fun. He said, can you do walking? Can you walk the bass? I said, I can't do anything on the bass. He said, but you've heard what your dad does, haven't you? So, like this sort of. That's walking bass. Yeah. They call that walking bass. So he said, if you can walk around, start in C. That's jazz.
There we go.
So he said, just start on C, finish on C, and in the middle, play whatever you feel like. Whatever you use your ears and just think, does that fit with what's going on? And so I did that, and I did that for the whole night. And I was astounded how I got through it. I couldn't believe it. I was knackered at the end of it. I was like, my brain was going like mad. And we finished, and he said, and everyone came up and said, oh, fantastic playing, man. You're like your old man.
That's amazing.
You're great.
Yeah.
And I went, yeah, thanks. But that was it. You know, it's like start on C, finish on C, and whatever happens in between. Well, you wouldn't know, would you?
What's that?
You wouldn't know whatever I was playing.
Oh yeah.
As long as I'm around the C notes,
yeah,
you stay in that sort of area, you can't lose.
Yeah,
but I learned that from that one gig,
us.
and I've taken that with me forever. So you really, there's nothing to worry about. Just do it.
That's such a gutsy thing to do, and because I don't think, not many people would have said yes to that. Yeah, and
well, I didn't say yes.
Oh, right.
He made me do it.
Yeah, but the fact
but thank God he did.
Yeah, and I think that so much can be taken away from that. Just saying yes, even if you're unsure of like what.
Yeah. You'll work it out.
Yeah, and if not, you'll just learn, and you will have had an experience that you can just build on, basically. And
exactly.
Yeah, it's another story to tell at the very least. And
yes.
Yeah.
I've carried that with me all the time. That sort of thing. Very positive attitude.
Yeah,
and,
can do. Yeah,
you can do everything. There's no such word as can't.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's. Oh, so and that built from. So you were in the Wild Colonials.
For about 3 or 4 years.
About 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow, and touring Australia and.
Yeah, we were doing loads of stuff,
Did you go overseas at all?
No. Yeah. Well, we went to Tasmania once, I think.
Oh yeah, that's that. Yeah, that counts.
That was overseas.
Yeah, that's overseas.
That's as overseas as we ever got.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. And so when the Animals came, did they tour Australia?
Yeah.
And cross paths with them, with the Wild Colonials?
Yeah, the Animals and Dave D, Dozy Beacon, Titch.
Oh yeah.
Another band. They all came over at the same time, and we toured all over Australia with them.
Yeah.
With all that lot, and I remember in Sydney one night we were in a hotel. The first time we ever had the. The weird weed. Weed. We were introduced by the Animals.
They introduced it to you. Was it Eric?
A little tiny bit, but we never kept it up. It was just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
While we were listening to the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's just came out that day.
Oh right,
and
perfect
we were up all night listening to Sgt. Pepper's.
Perfect time to try it.
Yeah. Why not?
Oh, so was it Eric Burden that introduced you to it, or was it the whole? The
No,
whole
but
band?
just the band. Really.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It wasn't really big time. It was just a little bit of fun, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like having a cigarette for the first time.
Y-
Just a fag, you know.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing. We never
Oh,
got into it.
yeah, yeah.
That's why we're still here.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. The secret to longevity. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Eric, yeah. So they, I suppose, had they released House of the Rising Sun at that time?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that was.
But yeah, that was they released that probably about 63 or 4 or something.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
we're talking about 67.
Yeah.
And that was about the time I joined the Mixtures as well. So
Okay.
yeah, the Wild Colonials had our drummer had a big accident and broke his legs in a few places, and so he couldn't play for a while. And so we ended up breaking up through that
Oh,
because we didn't want to get any other drummers in. He was part of the family, you know,
yeah.
sort of thing. So we ended up just giving it up on that. And then the Mixtures, there was a band called the Mixtures, a 3-piece group, and their guitarist was their sort of manager as well. And he decided to break up the old Mixtures and form a new Mixtures, like a little super group sort of thing. So
Right.
he handpicked me, Freddie Whelan on guitar, Edgel from the Changing Times, and a guy called Dennis Garcia from Queensland,
Right.
organ player. The story there, a few stories there.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, but we were called the Mixtures. And John Creech, who still plays in Melbourne as well. He's a great drummer,
Yeah.
and he was one of the original Mixtures as well. And he stayed with it. And so we were a 5-piece group, and the rest was history, really. We were
Wow.
working everywhere, and did everything.
And so, who was the person that picked you up, and were you spotted?
Laurie
at
Arthur.
Laurie Arthur.
He was the guitar player.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Mixtures, yeah. Laurie Arthur, he decided who he wanted in the group.
Right. Okay.
And that was one of the very first sort of super groups, if they call them super groups. They got guys from different bands and put them all together and that sort
Right.
of thing. But they were great days. So again, I think
Okay.
great lot.
So the Wild Colonials, and then any other bands that were doing well at the time, the Mixtures were picked from all these.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
All the top bands in Melbourne, sort of thing.
And can you remember the day when you were asked to join the Mixtures? Was it?
I can't remember the day.
Or like where
But
you were?
I remember all
being-
getting together for the first time and
Yeah.
learning the first lot of songs and everything. And in fact, the organist was a guy called Dennis, and he was a bit mad. He had an old Farfisa organ
Yeah.
at the time, and because he joined this new group, he wanted to get a better organ.
Yeah.
So he went out and bought himself a Hammond, a big Hammond organ, with all the pedals and everything on it. It was beautiful Hammond, expensive. It was probably, I think back in those days, was about $3,000, which
Right.
was a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And so he went out and bought one from Brash's in Melbourne, and brought it back to the rehearsal rooms, and brought it in, and he went, "Oh God, I can't get it downstairs." And he said, "I'll be back in a minute." So he shut off and came back with a big lump of wood, and a saw, a few screwdrivers and things. We said, "What are you going to do?" He said, "I'm going to cut it in half, because we can't carry this everywhere. We can't carry this whole big thing to gigs and all that sort of stuff." We said, "Cut it in half, just cut it." So he just turned it on its side, he went, cut this brand new organ. Oh,
I've
unbelievable.
never heard of that before.
Yeah, pulled all the plugs out for the pedals.
Right.
And he said, "I don't need these. We've got a bass player. We don't need bass pedals on it." So he just threw those in the corner, and then he said, and he screwed some wood on the bottom of it, so it became like a desktop job, you know.
Right.
And it was amazing. And so then we said, "Well, how are we going to carry this around? It's pretty heavy, you know."
Yeah, even just
Big-
half an
big
organ.
truck
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
So he went, "Oh, don't worry, I'll sort that out." So he went off again somewhere, came back, he had this big chrome stand with wheels on it and
Yeah.
everything, this massive, beautiful chrome stand, right size and everything. And we said, "Where'd you get that from?" He said, "I went down the Undertaker's." So I went past the Undertaker, and I saw these stands in the backyard.
Yeah.
And we went, "What, for they're coffin stands, right? People, they wheel them around, coffins around on these things." So he said, "Yeah. He said, "They're great, perfect. Look," he said, "it's got wheels and everything." So he said, "I can push the organ across the other side of the stage and run after it and jump on it and all that." You're crazy. Anyway, that was
Wow.
a funny story.
You're,
I thought it was funny.
yeah, yeah, sawing an organ in half. But that's
Mad, yeah.
that's amazing. Yeah. So when you joined the Mixtures, that was 1967, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And did you go on any international tours before that mega success?
Yeah, we were touring a lot with different bands and different artists and ourselves. I mean, every group I've ever been in, we work so much. Like the Wild Colonials working 7 nights a week, every week, constantly.
Yeah.
And the Mixtures were the same. We used to work 7 nights a week.
Yeah.
We never had time to spend any money.
Yeah.
And we earned good money in those days, and we earned really good money, and we couldn't spend it because we never went out.
Right. Yeah.
We went out to work, went out to work every night. So,
Yeah.
you know, we couldn't. And then one day we just said, "Do you know what? I think I'm going to go and buy a new car."
Yeah.
And all 4 of us just went and bought brand new cars, all on the same
yeah.
day. Sort of, you know, I went and bought a Holden, new Holden, and the other guys bought Mazdas and all that stuff. And we just drove around in brand new cars. You know, it's like that's all we could spend the money on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we didn't have time to go take our girlfriends out or have girlfriends. We were just playing every night of the week. And it was incredible, really.
Yeah. That is phenomenal.
In fact, I saved up enough money in those days. Well, my dad saved it for me because I used to just get paid in a little envelope and I'd stick it in my drawer.
Right.
And one day my mum went in to clean the room or something, opened the drawer and it was packed with all these envelopes. And so she opened an envelope and it had like a few $100 in it, or $1,000, $800 something. And so she said, "What's all that?" And every one she opened, and I came home and my dad said, "Do you know how much money you've got in those drawers in your room?" I went, "No." And he told me, and he said, "You've got to put it in the bank." I said, "I haven't got a bank account. I wouldn't know what to do." He said, "I'll sort it out." So he got me a bank.
Yeah.
He said, "Just give me your pay every week, and I'll put it in your bank." He did that for me, and when I first came to England, after I'd been here for a couple of years, I decided to buy a little cottage, and I had enough money to buy it outright with cash. In Australia, I rang my dad. I said, "How much money have I got?" It was only a cheap cottage here, but it was a lovely little thing, and I was able to buy it outright with money my dad had saved for me over the years.
Oh, it's
It was amazing. You wouldn't believe that, but that's how it was.
So you were able to make a living from music from the age of about 16?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And that was from...
Have done forever.
Fantastic. I love that. So from 16, you're playing in a band, and how does it work when you play in those days when you were doing you were the resident band, right?
Yeah.
And so, is it just split evenly between the band, and some goes to the manager as well?
Well, the manager was the owner of the club.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, right.
So this guy Gary Spry, he owned the club anyway. He probably took 10%. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You know, I can't remember back
you weren't
that far.
keeping count, yeah.
But you know, he paid us a good wage, a good weekly wage, sort of thing. Because I had to give up my job. I was earning £7 a week, selling shoes in a shoe shop.
Oh, selling shoes. Yeah.
Before I went into the club, you know, and so I can't remember how much we were getting paid. We were probably getting paid about 25 quid a week, you know, each. So probably less his commission. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it was enough. It was enough to keep us going.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Living the dream. Yeah. Absolutely.
Of course, yeah.
That's so cool. And so from 1967, you're touring with the Mixtures, and the popularity is rising, I imagine, and just everything's just
we were
accelerating.
We were just doing gigs, and getting a bit more popular. We weren't like a screaming band where all the girls stand around screaming at the bands or anything. They were like the younger ones were getting that, you know.
Oh yeah.
The young bands were getting all that sort of adulation and stuff. Whereas we were a little bit older, and we were a bit more like we were doing sort of stuff like Beach Boys and soul and all different sorts of songs. We weren't like teeny boppers.
Yeah.
We got past that, you know. We were 17 or 18.
Oh,
you know, 19 sort of age.
So you were in the, so in 67, how old were you, sorry, at that time? Would have been late
20. I was 20.
Oh,
yeah.
20, right. So, yeah, still very young, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And the influences for the Mixtures, was it very, you mentioned like the Beach Boys and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
suppose the Beatles would
The
have
Beatles,
been,
yeah,
would have
big
been-
time, yeah.
Yeah, and in Australia were those the main bands on the radio at that time, or were you
Yeah,
getting a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
Australian
It was,
music?
yeah. Right up until 60. I was telling you the story before. It was about 69, I think it was, when everything changed, because up until then, the radio stations used to just be given records to play, and they played all the records, and then PRS, which is Performing Rights Society, that sort of thing, which is a royalty that's paid to the artists and not the artists, but the songwriters of each song that's played on the radio is quite a good amount of money. So the record companies decided to say to the radio stations to pay them a royalty, pay the record companies a royalty to pay to the artists and the writers of the songs. And so they said, well, no, we play their records, and we make them stars anyway. People go out and buy their records. Why should we pay them money as well to do that? Well, then they said, well, you have to do that. You can't just have it for nothing. We're going to change the rules.
Yeah.
Because PRS was happening in the UK and America and around the world. That was starting to work for the artists and the writers. So they said, oh, well, we're not going to do that. So the record companies then said, well, we can't give you any records. We won't give you any of the hits from England or from America.
Yeah. Okay.
You can only use local if you want to, but you're not going to get these records. And then Ron Tudor, the guy who had a little label in Melbourne called the Fable label, he saw a gap in the market there, and he said, well, hang on a minute, I'll let the radio stations play my records for nothing. And I'll just make the money on the sales.
Yeah,
so
that's
fine.
genius.
So then he started getting all the records from the UK and America, all the hits, and getting them over and getting local groups to do covers of them and give them to all the radio stations. So the radio stations were getting the best songs, but recorded by local artists.
That is amazing.
And like us, and we were one of them. He got in and gave us 4 records to listen to, and we heard in the summertime, and we said, well, we'll do that. That'd be good. That's a good song. That sounds like a hit. So we recorded in the summertime and had #1 with it.
Oh, yeah,
It was our first #1 record.
I love that story. Yeah. In the Summertime was on a smaller label. Is that
Yeah.
what allowed it to be played or covered
Yes,
in
the
Australia?
Fable Records.
Okay.
Ron
Yeah.
Tudor was a very small label, but he was able to let the radio stations play it without paying the royalties.
Okay. So
And-
yeah.
So he made money on the sales.
Right.
When we sold thousands and thousands of records, he made thousands of thousands of dollars,
So
and we didn't make much.
wow. And Mungo Jerry. So they didn't get any royalties from in
No.
the Summertime. Yeah.
No, not in Australia,
Not in Australia. Yeah.
but in England they did. They did very well.
Okay. So from their version, they would get.
Oh, when they had #1 here, they sold a few million records.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of royalties. Yeah.
Brilliant. And then the cover version, that would.
Well, that just made us a bigger band.
That's great.
Made
Yeah.
us more popular, and the top of the charts. So all of a sudden you become a different artist. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's all about songs, really. It's all about records and songs, and the whole business is. I mean, you've been doing busking and around the radio or the stations here.
Yeah.
The train stations, and that's fantastic. But you still need a great record.
Yeah. That's it.
You
Yeah.
still need a great song.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, you can carry on singing for the rest of your life, but without that hit,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
it's hard work.
Absolutely. There's a bit of magic that everyone needs to find somewhere to.
Yeah,
to really-
and it doesn't happen. You can't just go and write a hit song.
yeah. Yeah.
They happen in so many different ways. You know.
Yeah.
So it's not your fault. It's just
that's it.
You've got some really, really, really good songs, and you could have a big hit one
thanks.
day. So you're not far away from it. It's just, I think you've got quite a few great songs. I was listening to you earlier.
Oh,
They're
thanks,
lovely.
mate. Oh, that means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll keep
really.
keep working it. I never stop writing, even when I do it because I love it, and I'll always, regardless as to what happens, I'll always keep writing, and if I get lucky with a hit or any song that gets a decent amount of play, then that's great. That's a bonus. In the summertime, that I love that story, and you were saying that Mungo Jerry, was his name Ray?
Ray Dorset.
Ray Dorset. Yeah, he said he was slagging you off a bit.
Well, you can imagine. I mean, he'd written in the summertime.
Yeah.
It was not banned, but they wouldn't play his record in Australia. He was getting hits all around the world except in Australia.
Yeah.
And we covered it, and we had a #1 record with it. The only thing he actually got out of it was when it was #1 in Australia, it had the Mixtures, by the Mixtures / Mungo Jerry.
Oh, okay.
So he at least got a message, what do you call it, a mention.
Publicity of some kind.
Yeah, a bit of mention that they had the record in England, and we had it in Australia, sort of thing.
But no royalties for him for the.
Well, no. Well, we didn't get any royalties anyway.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean that's it.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, we got a little bit of royalty, but not much.
And what's also amazing, so you weren't a singer, or you said you didn't sing a whole lot before then. You were doing harmonies.
I was just a harmony singer and another singer in the band. Really, we had a lead singer, Idris, and at the time when we said in the summertime would be a great record for us to do, it wasn't anything like us really. We were, as I say, like Beach Boys sort of group, big harmony group, and this had very little no harmony in it. And when Idris heard it, and I said, we should do this, and he said, yeah, it sounds like a really good song. He said, but it's not my sort of song. He said, it's not my voicing. I couldn't sing it like, to make it any better. So we said, well, but you're the lead singer. He said, well, why don't you sing it? He said to me, why don't you sing it? I'm sure you could do it. So I went, well, it's a great song. Let's do it. So I went and sang it. And it was #1, but that wasn't because of my voice. I just covered Mungo Jerry. So
no, I'm sure
Ray Dorset.
Yeah, no.
I was trying to sound like Ray.
Oh yeah. That's it. Yeah.
So, but then the next record was the Pushbike Song. So I had to do that one because it was the same voice, the same voicing of it, and I ended up almost becoming the lead singer of the group.
Yeah.
By default.
And I see in the music video for the Pushbike Song, you're front and center. You're
well, that's how it was in those days.
Yeah, of course. The lead singer will be at the front. Yeah.
And if anything goes wrong, it's my fault. It's always my fault anyway.
So obviously Ron had this idea to release covers, and Ron was the CEO of Fable, right? Or he was the
the owner
of Fable.
The boss.
So,
man. Yeah.
Awesome, yeah. So Ron's idea, there's this 1970 band in Australia which became quite famous. I was reading up about it.
Yeah, it was. And it made a lot of bands.
Yeah.
Quite successful in those days. All the bands who like us, like we were the first international band, Australian band, to have a hit in the UK, around the world, anywhere around the world, with a song written and recorded in Australia. All the others had to come over to England to get their hits, like the Easy Beats. They came to England, recorded in England. They wrote their own songs, but they recorded here with English producers and all that sort of stuff. And the Bee Gees did it here. They had to come here to make their hits. They recorded all their big hits here. Whereas we were the first band in Australia to have an Australian song recorded in Australia, sung by an Australian band, and made a hit over here. So it was different.
That was in the summertime.
No, there's Pushbike.
Oh, that Pushbike was written as well. Yeah. And when In the Summertime came out, you were saying that you drove up to a station and
this is a good little story for your listeners and your friends. When we done In the Summertime and we recorded it with Ron Tudor at Fable Records, we were in the studio and we just finished the recording and we were mixing the track. Well, the engineers were mixing the track and everything, and we finished. And it was about 8 o'clock at night, and the Ron Tudor came in, who was the Fable CEO. He came into the session. He had listened to it. He said, "Oh, it's great, love it." He said, now listen, guys, you're all going home. We said, yeah, we're off now. He said, but before you go, he said, Mick, you live in Preston out that way. There are 4, you go past 4 radio stations on your way home. He said, so give me a tape. So you got 4 tapes, 4 reel-to-reels, little tapes of In the Summertime. He said, take these 4 and stop at UZ, AW, and so and he gave me the 4 stations. He said, just drop in. They're waiting for you. They want the record. This is straight after the recording session.
Yeah.
Same day, hot off the press or what. And then...
Is it one take? One take for this In the Summertime?
A couple of takes.
A couple of takes, yeah.
But that was Pushbike Song.
Yeah.
But the other guys, because they lived out in different parts of Melbourne, he said that Fred, you've got 4 stations. Here's 4 tapes. Drop into that one, and just hand it to the guy on the door. That's all you need to do. So he gave us all 4 each. So 16 tapes are going out to 16 radio stations like that after the recording session. Off it goes. So we all get in the car and we go. So I pulled into the first one, 3AK or 3UZ, I can't remember now. Went up to the door. Mick Flinn, mixtures. Yeah, thanks, Mick. They've been waiting for this. I said, okay. So I went and got back in my car and I'm driving to the next one. And I've got the car radio on. Next minute, In the Summertime comes on the radio.
Straight away.
within about 4 minutes or 5 minutes of me handing it to the guy, I'm driving along in the car and my voice is coming out. I went, oh my God, this is unbelievable. The next one, same thing happened. I put that radio station on in my car. In the Summertime comes on. And it was being played to death from then on, straight away. I mean, normally you have to get promotion, do all the rest of it. Ron was really a clever guy, you know. He just said, you've got to get this record as quick as possible. Well, get it to us, Ron, get it to us. And they loved it. Everyone loved it because it was #1 in England at the same time. And that was in it was in the summertime in England, and the song is called In the Summertime, so it was perfect. Yeah. In Australia at the same time, it was winter, right in the middle of winter. Sure, and we're putting out a song called In the Summertime when the weather is fine. You know, it's like ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it didn't stop it from being a hit.
I just love that so much, that story. Just handing in your, is it a cassette or is it a...
No, it's a reel-to-reel.
Oh, reel, okay.
Reel-to-reel, you know, big, like a 4-inch reel
tape. Yeah.
So it went... In the summertime when the weather is hot, you can stretch right up and touch the sky. When the weather's fine, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find. If her daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If her daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Scoot along the lake, do a tunnel, then return at 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and really fine. Thanks, Ray.
Cheers, Ray. Yeah, more royalties coming your way.
The original writer was Ray Dorset from Mungo Jerry.
There we go. Oh,
excellent.
Yeah,
that was massive hit straight probably within a week, I would say.
Yeah,
it was so fast.
And whose idea was it actually to cover it? Was it actually Ron's idea to?
Right. Yeah. Well, Ron had bought 4 records over had them sent over from the UK.
Okay.
One was Love Is Life by Hot Chocolate. Another one was I'm a Neanderthal Man, and In the Summertime, and another record I can't remember. But there was 4 that we had listened to and picked the best one we wanted. So we just picked that one, and that was it.
I guess, and in those,
easy.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's simple, really. And I keep thinking in those days, obviously you'd have to post the had to be posted. Yeah.
8 weeks later.
Would it arrive on a boat or a plane?
I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess it made up for lost time when you handed it in to the station.
Absolutely.
Taking 8 weeks to travel halfway across the world, and then straight away hand it in, and bang, it's on in the car.
Well, that sort of stuff happened back then.
Yeah.
Things went quickly because there was not much else going on, you know.
Yeah.
There's no social media.
That's it, yeah.
We couldn't get mixed up with anything else.
Yeah.
Couldn't take your mind off it, so you just did what you could do.
Oh,
great.
And so after the success of in the summertime, then yeah, like tell me a bit more about the strategy behind the next song, which
The Pushbike Song.
Yeah.
Well, that was we needed a follow up, and a producer called David Mackay was brought over from the UK to Australia to record an album with us after In the Summertime. The album was called In the Summertime, and he came over to do this album with us, and we didn't have any follow up for the In the Summertime at the time. We had other songs that we were going to do, other covers, and a few songs we wrote ourselves and stuff. We weren't writing very much. Idris was, but no one else was much. And so one day, Idris and his brother Evan had already written this song called the Pushbike Song, way back.
Okay.
A lot of time before In the Summertime and everything else, but it went sort of. Riding along on a pushbike, honey, when I notice you. Riding downtown in a hurry, honey, down south of you look so pretty. It was a bit of rock and roll song, right?
More edge to it,
yeah. So one day I was just sitting around with Idris in his flat, and he said, well, what are we going to do? I said, I don't know. I said, play me the Pushbike Song again. So he went, riding along on a pushbike. I said, no, slow it down. Just slow it down. Riding along on the push. Yeah, okay. I said, now get your banjo. Pick up your banjo. And he went, okay. And he went, play the riff.
Nice.
And it was the same feel, similar feel to In the Summertime.
Yeah.
And then I got on some bongos or something, or cases or something, went. And then went, riding along on the pushbike, honey, when I noticed you. Riding downtown in a hurry, honey, down south of you look so pretty. As you were riding along, you look so pretty. As you were singing that song. Shh, ooh, ooh, shh, ah, shh, ooh, ooh, shh. Well, I put in the speed and I tried catching up, but you were pedaling harder too. Riding along like a hurricane, honey. It's out of view, you look so pretty. As you were riding along, you look so pretty. As you were singing that song. Sing the song. Around, round, wheels going round, round, round. Down, up, pedals, down, up, down. But I gotta get across this way. Sun goes down. Hey, shh, ooh, ooh, shh, ah.
There we go. Oh, amazing. Yeah.
Got the words wrong. Long time since I first sang that song.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I don't do it all the time.
Yeah, it's amazing that you had the, I suppose, like the instinct to change it into what it is known today.
Yeah.
Because it was a bit of a rock song, and you just had that thought to.
Well, we always knew the Pushbike Song was a great melody and good lyric and everything like that. So it just needed rearranging.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, any song, you could write a song tomorrow which would be like a reggae song.
Yeah.
And someone else would say, play it like a rock and roll song. And you play it like a rock, and it takes on a whole different feel. And before you know it, it's just like, oh, that sounds like a hit now.
Yeah.
Just move it away from what it was. And that's all we did on that day. And I mean, it wasn't just me. It just threw a load of stuff in as well. And we just gelled it together, and it was a two-man thing. It wasn't just all about me.
Oh yeah.
But that's sort of how it happened in that sort of way. So
goes to show, even if it's someone who, I guess the person that wrote it sees it in a very certain way, and then from an outside perspective, someone
exactly,
a fresh set of ears can sometimes just make a tiny tweak that give it.
Well,
all
it's
it
a bit
needs.
like you met my wife Donna.
Yeah.
Well, she had a big hit in Australia with the way you do it. A song called "It's Not the Way That You Do It," that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's another story.
I'm looking forward to that one as well.
But that was the same sort of thing. I recorded that. I'd I'd written it and recorded it as a demo
Yeah.
in a reggae form. It was like that sort of, what key was it? It's not the way that you do it, but how you do it to me.
Yeah.
It's not the way that I want it, but how you want it to be. Like a reggae. That's how I recorded the song first. I wrote it like that, like a little reggae type of song.
Yeah.
Thought it was a silly song, stupid song. It was like I thought it was the worst song I'd ever written.
Right. Yeah.
I was embarrassed about it, and then I went into a record company, and the record company guy was saying, "Oh, we want to hear all your songs you've written to put out a new single," and he went through all the songs, and I didn't play him that song, and I said, "You've heard everything now," and he said, "But what's on that tape?" On the end of the tape, I said, "Oh, it's just a silly little song that I've written, but I don't want to play it to you." So he said, "I want to hear everything." He said, "Play it to me." So I went, "Oh," so I pressed the button, and it was, "It's not the way that you do it." Just redoing that.
Yeah.
And hitting on something, that sort of thing. And at the end of it, he went, "That's the best song you've written." He
Yeah.
said, "That's a hit."
Yeah.
He said, "Go in the studio and record it properly, make a master out of it." So I went in the studio and I had time to think about it, and I made it into a slightly different song. It's still a #1 record in Australia.
Wow.
Came out, and it's incredible. It's something I never thought was any good. So what do I know?
Oh, that's it. Just
remember I'd be telling you
oh, yeah.
that song.
The Can't Get Enough. Yeah.
Can't get enough of you. Yeah,
Can't Get Enough. Yeah, that's it.
But it's like we were at the station one day, and he was busking outside the Chorleywood station, and he's playing all these lovely songs and covers and his own songs and stuff, and I'm standing there and I'm thinking, this guy's great. He's really, really fantastic, but he hasn't got a hit. Like, I didn't hear a hit in all the songs he was singing, or not where I know again. And then I said to him, "Play me the worst song you've ever written." And he went, "What?" I said, the song that you're most embarrassed about, you would be most embarrassed about. And he went, and he said, "Well, I don't know, I'm not sure." I said, "Well, come on, it must be something you don't like that you've written that you're not that keen on." And so he said, "Well, there's this one. Play it. Go on."
Play it. All right.
Yeah, you can play it now.
Should I play the new version
boss.
or
Yeah,
the old
course.
version? Yeah.
New version.
New version. Okay.
Well, you can tell them the story about the two versions if you want.
Okay.
Don't do the whole song.
Just play a little bit. Yeah. So when I started playing guitar, actually maybe about a year in, I was I wanted to write as many songs as I could, really, and I wanted a song to sort of boast a bit, because I'd been following Ed Sheeran quite a lot, and he had quite a boastful song.
That's your first mistake.
That's it. Yeah.
Following
someone else. Yeah. And it was called "Can't Get Enough of Me." And so, looking back on those lyrics now, I'm quite embarrassed, and that's why when Mick asked me to play the worst song I'd ever written, I thought about it for a bit in between songs, and then this song came to mind. And I know you want me, baby. I've got you on my mind. I think I need you, baby. You make me so alive. This is crazy, baby. But when I'm writing a song, can't be any kind of person I don't wanna become. I know, baby, that you can't get enough of me. I know, baby, that you so many lies. I can tell by the way that you look at me. It just takes me by no surprise. Yeah, you can't get enough of me. Yeah, you can't get enough of me. Yeah, you can't get enough of me. Yeah, you can. 2, 3.
Okay.
There we go.
And now what?
And now
what happened then?
I've just been chatting to Mick before we started chatting today, and he recommended switching me to you to make it less self-obsessed. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So
see what you think.
Let's go. So I don't You're the baby that I can't get enough of you. You're the baby that you tell me lies. I can tell by the way that I look at you. It just takes me by no surprise. Yeah, 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 I can't get enough of you. Yeah, 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 I can't get enough of you. Yeah, 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 I can't get enough of you. Yeah, 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 I can't want to. There we go. Nice to switch things around. Yeah, definitely makes it more, a lot less about me and more about...
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Awesome. Oh, thanks so much for that, Mick.
Come on.
Yeah, so the Pushbike Song comes out. You've changed it up into what it is today, and that sort of takes off. It explodes, right, all over Australia and the world, right? Did it? Were you sort of anticipating that after the success of In the Summertime, or did you think that In the Summertime was the peak? Yeah.
Off and on. I mean, it's weird. I mean, so many weird things have happened in my lifetime. Anything can happen, you know. It's like with the Pushbike Song, for instance, we decided to, the band were out doing a tour with the 1910 Fruit Gum Company, an American band. And we were going on supporting them. We were doing the support. And we did it in the summertime because we were #1 in the charts at the time. And that went down great. And then during the tour, we decided to put the Pushbike Song into the act, just because we liked it and it was similar to In the Summertime. So we put it in. And we just said, this is our next record. And it's called the Pushbike Song. And so the audience thought it was going to be our next single. And it went down a real storm, right, on the tour.
Yeah.
And when we got to Perth, it was our last town, coming back to Melbourne, and Ron Shooter rang me in the hotel in Perth and said, when are you guys back? I said, we're coming back tomorrow. And he said, oh, great. He said, come, I need you in the office. He said, because we're putting out your next single after In the Summertime, and it's going to be Love Is Life, a song called Love Is Life, which was an old Hot Chocolate cover. And I said, well, no, you can't do that, Ron. He said, why? I said, because we've been on tour and we've been doing the Pushbike Song on stage and telling everyone it's our next single and it's going down a storm.
Yeah.
And he said, no, we'll do that another time. He said, we've already pressed it. We're ready to go with Love Is Life.
Yeah.
I said, no, you can't do that. And he said, well, I can, and I'm doing it. He said, but, you know, just when you get back, come and see me. We're no problem. I said, when we come, don't do anything until we get back.
Yeah.
I said, and when we do get back, I want to see you first thing tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning. Something. So he said, yeah, cool. It's going to be great to see you guys. So we all went back, and we all went into the office to meet him. And we walked in, and he said, how's it going, guys? We said, we're ready to go. We're going to have a massive hit with this one. And we said, no. You're not going to put it out. And he said, we are. He said, I've already pressed it. He said, I've pressed thousands of copies. We said, but you can't do that without our permission. He said, well, yes, I can. He said, I'm the record company. I can do what I like. We said, well, okay, you can put it out if you like, but we're not going to promote it. We won't do any TVs. We won't do any radio. We won't do any interviews, nothing about it. We'll just ignore it if you put that record out. And he said, you can't do that. We said, well, we're going to. Unless you put the Pushbike Song out, that's what's going to happen. And we got really hard with him. And he went, oh, for God's sake. And we argued for a whole few hours or something, and then eventually he went, okay, all right, I'll repress the Pushbike Song and we'll put that out.
Yeah.
We said, well, you have to do that. So he said, okay. So it came out.
The rest
it
is
was
history.
#1 like that, whoosh. But I'd also been told about 3 months before that, when we just finished recording it on the album, we'd been putting the Pushbike Song on the album, and I went to a clairvoyant. My mum said, you should go and see a clairvoyant. She's really good, this lady. So I said, yeah, it'll be fun. So I went to this clairvoyant, and I went in, and I wasn't going to tell her nothing, because, you know, I never really believe in all that sort of stuff, a bit spooky. So she said, give me your ring. So I gave her a ring, and she was holding it in her hand, and she's talking to me, and I'm telling her nothing. And then she said, why do I keep on seeing bicycles? I keep seeing you with bicycles. What's all that about? And I said, no. She said, are you a bike rider? I said, no. never ridden. No, I was a kid when I was a kid. I rode a few bikes, but I'm not a cyclist or anything. So she said, all I can see is you with bicycles. And I said, no, you're wrong there. And so she said, no, it's very strong. This is very strong. There's something about bicycles. Carried on. I said, well, the only thing about a bicycle is, I said, we've just been in the studio and we've recorded a song called the Pushbike Song. And that's the only thing I can think of. She said, that's it. She said, that's going to be that's it. It all falls into place. She said, that's going to be a big hit. It's going to be a smash hit. She said, and this was in about September.
In
1970.
1970, okay.
Yeah, about September. And she said, that's going to be, I can see it all now. She said, that's a massive hit. It's going to be a big hit, very successful. And you're going to go to England. She said, you're going abroad, you're going to England in January. This is coming January, right? Okay, September, January is not far away.
Yeah.
In January, you're going to go to England, and it's going to be a big hit over there, and it's going to be very successful, and you're going to have a great time. It's going to be incredible and everything. And then you're going to leave the group. The group's going to stop, but then you're going to join another group, a trio with 2 other people, and you're going to have great success, and everything's going to be fine. It'll all work out great, so don't worry about anything. I went, yeah, okay. And I walked out the door.
Yeah.
While I was walking out the door, she said, oh, by the way, hang on. So I stopped, turned around, yeah, what? She said, write a song. You've also got to write a song called Curl-a-Mo.
Curl-a-Mo.
Yeah. And I said, what are you talking about? What do you mean, Curl-a-Mo? And she said, well, you know, in the olden days, men used to grow big moustaches and they curl them like this. I said, and what that means? She said, that meant everything is all right. Everything's going to be all right. She said, so write a song called Curl-a-Mo and you'll be very successful. That's going to be very successful for you. So I went, right, that rubbish. So I walked out through the door and went, and I said, she said the Pushbike Song is going to be a big hit. You know, we forgot all about that for a few months, after a couple of months. And it was about October, November, and we were putting the record out. And the Pushbike Song came out, went straight to #1, massive hit. January, we were doing gigs, and I was in in Torquay, in Australia, and I got a phone call from London, and the guy came in. He said, from the office, somebody from London wants to talk to Mick Flinn. Who's Mick Flinn? I went, me. And he went, there's a bloke ringing from London, England. I mean, you know, it never happened at a gig, you know.
Yeah.
So I went and picked it up, and I was, hello? And he said, hi Mick, it's David Joseph. I'm in London, blah, blah, blah. He said, we've got the Pushbike Song, and it's going to come out on Polydor. It's going to be released on Polydor, and I want to bring you over to the UK. Can the band come over and do Top of the Pops? And I went, what's Top of the Pops? I didn't know about Top of the Pops in those days.
Yeah.
And he said, the biggest TV show in the UK.
Wow, yeah.
And going around the world, he said, it makes hits, you know, you've got to do it. And he said, you've got to come over. How soon can you get here? I said, well, we've got gigs.
Yeah.
We've got a few weeks worth of gigs, you know. He said, well, what, a couple of weeks? I went, okay, yeah. He said, yeah, don't worry, we'll sort out all the flights and all that sort of stuff. That'll all be done. So I went back to the guys and said, in a couple of weeks, we're going to England, guys.
Wow,
they went, what? And so that was incredible. So she got all that right, this woman. And that was amazing. And everything happened. Because after a while, I left the group broke up, they all went back to Australia. And then I joined Donna, my wife, in the group called Springfield Revival, and that was 3 people. That was 2 guys and a girl. And that was what she said would happen. And she said, everything's going to turn out all right, it's going to be fantastic and everything, and it was fantastic, and it's all worked out.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that's but then Curl-a-Mo, did I ever tell you the story about Curl-a-Mo?
No.
Now here's something for you.
Yeah.
Curl-a-Mo, I tried after she told me about the Pushbike Song, and I suddenly went, hang on, Curl-a-Mo, I'm going to write a song called Curl-a-Mo. So I'm going, Curl-a-Mo, trying all this stuff out. And nothing ever came. And I thought, well, it's a stupid title. It's a dreadful title to write a song about, curling a mo. I mean, you know, no one had mows. And so I left it. I tried and then left it for years. And then about 2000 12 or something like that. You know, I was sitting around and I met this guy in Chorleywood, a guy called Bob Arthey, and he just had prostate cancer.
Right.
And he had prostate cancer, and another guy called Jimmy Spence had prostate cancer, local guys, and they wanted to spread the word, because back then prostate cancer wasn't a big thing. It was just starting to come big, you know, for men, bad thing. And so he was sort of hanging around, and he was saying, we've got to spread the word and get people to have PSA tests to make sure they haven't got prostate cancer. And so he said, Mickey, we want you to join in with us. He said, we're going to be called FOPs. We're going to be the Friends of Prostate Sufferers. So he said, all us guys who are suffering with prostate cancer, we're going to spread the word. I said, but I haven't got prostate cancer. He said, no, but you're a musician and you can raise money for us. So I said, oh, God. Okay. So he said, you're one of us. You're one of the FOPs. So there were 4 of us that started it. And now it's massive. The FOPs are huge. I stepped away after a while because it wasn't, you know, I didn't have the prostate thing, thank goodness. But anyway, but that was, and then one day he came round to me and he said, he came in talking. He said, "Oh, Mickey, have you heard about the what's it called, Movember? Have you heard about Movember in Australia?" This is when it first started. Movember first started, and I said, Movember. And I said, no, what's all that about? He said, well, in Australia, there's a company or a charity called Movember, and all the Aussie sportsmen are all growing moustaches in November, through the month of November, for prostate awareness thing. But they call it Movember, for Movember.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in the room with him, and all of a sudden I went, curl a mo for Movember, in my head. Curl a mo for mankind, curl a mo for Movember, everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah, all right.
And these words just came into my head, the whole chorus.
Yeah.
And I went, Bob, please go home. Just, I've got to finish something.
Get it out,
I've got to get into my room and finish this in the studio. And he said, yeah, okay. And he walked. I didn't even tell him what I was doing. But I sat down, and the whole song came like that.
Just like that,
In about 5 minutes, I'd written the whole song. Melody, lyrics, everything. And we recorded it and put it out.
Awesome, yeah.
Nothing happened. We got a lot of airplay on it, and a lot of interviews about it and everything. But, you know, I never made any money out of it. But I always said that the success of it would be if somebody heard it, it made them go and get a PSA test.
Sure, yeah.
You know, and maybe possibly saved a life. And if it saved a life, it's successful.
Absolutely, yeah. That's
how I felt about it in the end.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to be, you know, have millions of pounds because of it. I just wanted to do something good.
Yeah.
So that was nice. You know.
Oh, mate,
But that was amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. To think, and I'm sure it has. I'm sure if it was getting lots of airplay, I'm sure it's on Spotify as well. Or like
It is. Well, it's on YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Kill the Mo.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm sure that's. Yeah, I'm sure it's definitely yeah.
Well,
Giving people a wake-up call to go and get.
Yeah, well,
checked out.
all the lyric is about, you know. Curl a mo for Movember, everything's gonna be alright. Curl a mo for your family, give yourself more time. Curl a mo for your sanity, and elongate your life.
It's beautiful, Mick. Yeah, love
Anyway,
it.
you got the first bit.
So, if we could pick it up from that story you were just telling me about the.
Oh,
I mean, we could go back into that.
the King.
A bit later, yeah, or any other.
That's not Elvis, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah,
Not the King of rock and roll. Yeah, we met the King. We met Prince Charles at the time. Back in '68, about '68, we were mixtures. We were asked to do the government house ball for Prince Charles and Princess Anne, who had just visited Australia, who were visiting Australia. So we were asked to play for their ball, and we accepted it and we did it. And after the gig was there was going to be a disco downstairs, and after everyone had gone home, there'd be a big disco downstairs with more drinks and food and etc. And at the end of the time before Charles and and had left. They normally leave around earlier, about 10 o'clock or 9:30 or something. And we'd done all the music and everything, and then we were all lined up. Everyone in the whole thing was lined up, and they came along like they do the Royals.
Yeah.
They shake hands with everybody and talk and all that sort of stuff, and say goodbye. And they were leaving, and so we're all lined up, and Charles came along and said, "Very nice music, thank you very much." I said, blah, 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 blah. He was about the same age as me at the time, and I said to him, "It's a shame you have to go so early." And he said, "Oh, why is that?" I said, "Well, because there's going to be a disco downstairs, and then I'll tell you about the disco." I said, "There's a few drinks and people to chat to and everything. It's going to be a good night." He said, "Yes." He said, I'll let you into a little secret." He said, we have to do this. We have to say goodbye to everybody at the same time. We always leave a bit earlier." He said, "But what will happen is we go out the front door, we wave goodbye, all that, get into the limousine, waving everybody, say goodbye, bye-bye, and we drive around the corner and go around the back door, and we'll be down in the disco afterwards." That was quite funny. And then I met him another time.
Yeah.
In London, and we had to play for another special evening or afternoon gig for him and Camilla at a function near Buckingham Palace, like St James's Palace or something like that. One of those.
Yeah.
And anyway, same thing. We'd done the gig, and afterwards we were all queued up again to see them. They came along. Charles came along and said, "Well, thank you very much. It was lovely. We enjoyed the music, blah, blah, blah," being nice and everything. So I said, "Well, it's very nice to meet you again." And he said, "Oh, we've met before, have we?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, he said, "Whereabouts?" And I said, "In Australia, back in 1968 in Melbourne." And he went, "I remember that tour. Yes." He said, we had a wonderful time. We were with the governor, and we went to the beach down there. It was wonderful, a lovely place. It was fantastic." He said, and did you play for me?" We said, "Yeah, we did the same sort of thing at the government house for you." And he said, "Oh, wow, that's fantastic." And this time when we were meeting him, at that time on that night, I always painted my own shirts, my stage shirts. I used to paint them, and I had one of these hand painted shirts on, and he was chatting to me, looking at my shirt and everything, and he was saying, "Well, it's very nice to meet you again," and we shook my hand. He said, "Very well, very good, nice, very nice," and he walked off, and went probably about 10 people down, further down, and kept looking back and sort of looking at me and sort of smiling. And I'm thinking, well, what's going on here? And he eventually stops, comes walking straight right back down past 10 people, back to me, and comes up and he says, "Tell me something. Is that shirt from the 60s as well?" And laughed his head off, walked away, giggling his head off. And it was so funny. And I just wanted to say, "Yeah, just like your suit." But I never got the chance to say it. But never mind.
Next time.
Yeah. But that was a funny one.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And yeah, you're saying you're about the same age at that time. So,
Yeah.
Well, of course, you're the same age. So.
I was 22.
Wow, yeah. Oh, what a story. And yeah, so this happened just before the Pushbike, or maybe a few years before the Pushbike Song came out.
Well, yeah, the Pushbike Song wasn't until 70.
Right, okay.
This was about 68. Before in the summertime as well. So
wow, yeah.
in the summertime was 69. No, summertime was early 70. Mid 70s, about August.
Oh, okay.
1970. And then summertime, Pushbike Song was about January of 71.
Okay, yeah.
70, 71. It was right on the edge.
Oh, awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the Pushbike Song, it's been released in 1970. It's blowing up everywhere. And you fly to London for the first time. What was amazing. What was it like for you arriving in London?
Cold.
Yeah.
It was bloody cold.
Yeah. Was it in the middle of winter when?
Yeah. January.
Oh, gee. Yeah.
Can't get much colder.
Oh, yeah.
And back then it was colder and colder.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. We were picked up at the airport in a big black limo.
Right.
And we'd never been in a limo before. And
yeah.
It was just unbelievable. So we picked up and freezing cold. I never realised how cold it could be. It was unbelievable. And we drove down the M4 into London.
Wow.
Amazing.
So I'm guessing you arrived at Heathrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heathrow. And can you remember what was the first place you stayed where you stayed in London?
I'm just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Hang on. Yeah, the first place we went to, and when we were picked up at the airport, we were taken to Green Street in Mayfair, and we had a little flat. We had a house there,
Right.
half a house, and that was where we stayed for the first couple of months. We had to have a good address,
Yeah.
for the press and everybody. So we were brought in. The record was flying up the charts, and we were doing Top of the Pops like 2 days later.
Oh, 2 days from when you arrived,
Yeah.
you're doing Top of the Pops.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But for the first couple of days, we went up to Oxford Street and went into Take Six, which was a great shop in Oxford Street in those days.
Yeah.
Men's clothing, and coming from Australia, it was like, wow, what amazing suits were incredible, and jackets and coats and big boots and all that. It was an amazing place.
Wow. Yeah.
Fantastic. It's incredible. We loved it.
And were you guys recognised when you were out and about in the streets in London? And
No, we hadn't been on top of the Pops yet.
Yeah.
So once we were on Top of the Pops a couple of times, it was like, you couldn't go very, very far before someone would go, oh, I know you.
all right, so it was travelled
Yeah.
quickly. The
but,
word spreads.
the first few days was just amazing.
Yeah.
But bloody cold.
Oh yeah.
We bought these leather coats and full length coats and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But
Oh,
keep warm.
Yeah. And on Top of the Pops, I suppose I was that guy at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Who should not be named. Yeah. That's
He
it.
introduced us. He was the first one to introduce us on Top of the Pops.
Oh really? Bloody hell. Yeah. Oh gee. Yeah.
Don't mention the war.
No, that's it. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. But and so you were doing these. I saw online that you did a few shows in the Netherlands as well.
Oh yeah. We were all over Europe.
Wow.
The record was a big hit all over Europe.
Right. So you're going.
France and Germany and everywhere.
So you're travelling around all
We
these.
were doing all the TVs everywhere, all over Europe.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
And,
Great days.
And did it just feel like, is it a bit of a blur, or do you remember each performance like?
Blur.
A bit blur, yeah, because everything's.
You remember certain little things.
Yeah.
But the other things, just don't remember. Gig's a gig.
Yeah.
It's weird how that happens.
And was it gigging every night and then press in the day?
Well,
Was
we
it-
we weren't gigging as such. We were doing TVs.
Yeah.
Most of the time in the first couple of months that we were here was just television.
Okay.
Everywhere we went was TV and press and interviews and all that, because we were at number 2 in the charts,
Yeah.
held out by George Harrison.
Oh
at
yeah,
number 1.
My Sweet Lord was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
But we were
so close.
in Australia. We were number 1 while he was number 2.
Oh, there we go.
So we
yeah.
held him out.
Yeah. Balance it. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was great. But number 2 was like having a number 1 anyway.
Absolutely,
It's,
yeah.
Pretty close.
That's so amazing. And can you remember the first gig you did as the Mixtures in London or in the UK?
Well, the first gig we did was up in up north,
Oh, yeah.
Stockton,
Oh right.
and it was a gig that the New Seekers. Well, David Joseph, our manager over here, was also the manager of the New Seekers. He formed the New Seekers with Keith Podka and these 5 other guys, and they were doing all the cabaret gigs up north. They're bubbling up and getting better and better and better and bigger and all that sort of stuff. And they hadn't had a hit by then. And David took us up to show us a cabaret venue. And he said, we'll go and see the New Seekers, because most of the guys in it, because I knew Marty and Peter Doyle. They were from Australia as well. So they were all mates of mine. So we went up to see them, and we were sitting in the audience, and then Marty said, well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some group from Australia, the Mixtures, who've just been on Top of the Pops, and they've got a hit record here with the Pushbike Song. Would you like them to come up and do a song?
Yeah.
So we got up and we played the Pushbike Song for that audience that night. It was a great gig. It was fantastic. We just did that one song, and that was nice. But that was our first gig in the UK.
Oh, so
was good.
was that a headline gig, or was that the?
No, we
on the
just
same
pulled up
bill?
on stage just to do one song.
Okay, right.
So it could, from our mates, it'd be like me saying to you, come up and sing a song
Oh,
with
yeah.
us, But, and it was great. It was really good. So that was our first stage show,
Oh, awesome.
but then we started to get more cabaret. We started doing cabaret then,
Okay.
and then we did a summer season. We just got locked into all that sort of stuff. We didn't get a follow-up hit.
Right. Okay.
The next one was Henry Ford.
Henry Ford. Yeah.
Which wasn't a big hit. And
Okay.
I think it just charted probably in the mid-20s or something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like having a massive hit again, but it was probably still what you call a bit of a hit. But in the top 30 it was a hit anyway. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
but it didn't do much for us and didn't help. It helped us a bit with cabaret gigs. Got us a few more gigs and all that sort of stuff. But the Pushbike Song was the main one.
Yeah.
So that was all good. That was great fun.
And Captain Zero as well, was that before or?
That was later. That was after the summer season. After
Okay.
we'd done the summer season, which was in June, July, August time. And then Idris had left the group and he wanted to go solo again or write songs. And we got another guy in called Peter Williams, who was another friend from Australia. And he came in as to change over from Idris. And he and I went into the barn. We was staying in a barn house down in Torquay.
All right.
And so we went into the barn one day and we both wrote Captain Zero.
All right. So this is when I keep thinking that when you arrived in London, that you stayed the whole time.
In London.
You haven't come back, but you did you were going back to Australia since that initial.
Yeah,
visit
we went back near the end of the year.
Okay.
Of 1971, we went back to Australia for a tour.
Okay.
A little Australian tour just to keep our name there.
Yeah.
And that was good fun. That was great. Good
Awesome.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it was back in Australia,
Yeah.
Then we had to go back to England again
Oh,
to do more gigs.
More gigs and more TV and.
Yeah, well, we were over here trying to make it.
Yeah.
Trying to do bigger things, and in the end, the band all said, the rest of the guys in the band said they wanted to go back to Australia. They missed the sunshine and all that sort of stuff, and missed Australia, and they wanted to go. And they wanted me to go back, and I just said, no, I think I've been sent here for a reason.
Right.
More than just, I'd rather be a small fish in a big pond than a big fish in a small pond. So I'd stay here and try and crack it again, with something. And that's when the Springfield Revival came up.
Yes, yeah. And so that was quite a
and that's how I met my wife Donna.
Wow.
And
biggest decision, yeah.
That was amazing, yeah, great days. And the Springfield Revival was a sort of like a tribute to the Springfields. It was Dusty Springfield and her brother and another guy. They were called the Springfields. So instead of being the new Springfields, we were Springfield Revival.
Yeah.
So that happened, and we worked really hard for that. Boy, it was incredible. But it was a great group. It was a really good group. We were tight as.
Yeah.
We were really worked hard by Keith Podker, who was one of the new Seekers, one of the original Seekers. Sorry, yeah.
And it was his idea to form the Springfield.
Yeah, him and our manager David. Yeah.
David, okay. Originally from the mixtures.
David was originally an Australian film producer, TV producer.
Oh right, okay. So, and did that? Yeah, sorry.
How's the memory going?
That's amazing. I'm just trying to connect it all. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, go on. I know. We've been talking about a lot of stuff. Boring stuff as well.
Oh no, I love it. It's so when you decided to stay in the UK, how soon after did the Springfield Revival project come to fruition?
About 3 months.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So for those first 3 months, were you feeling, oh, this is a real
didn't know what to do.
Yeah, leap of faith almost.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure what to do, whether to go back to Australia or go to America or what to do with that. And I just thought, oh God, what am I going to do now? I've got to do something. And then David said, I'm going to start a group called Springfield Revival, and you'd be great in it. I've got to get the girl lead singer from the north, a young lady called Donna, and she's going to come down. And I got another London guy who's great. Put you all together, and you'll be a really good little group. And Keith was working us. I mean, he was teaching us all the harmonies and putting all the act together and everything. And we worked for probably about 3 or 4 months every day rehearsing,
Right.
day and night really.
Yeah.
We never stopped. We just until we had everything so tight. We had to because he didn't want to just put us out as another group. He wanted to put us out as the top of the bill.
Yeah.
So we had to be the top of the bill wherever we went. So to be that, you've got to be pretty slick.
Absolutely.
You know? And we were taught to be top of the bill, and it was fantastic. Learning curve, amazing learning curve, and we did all that work, hard work, but it paid off, and we ended up started to do more in America, and we were over in America, and we did a few things there, some fantastic stuff. We did Saratoga Springs, we did a few of the state fairs, big American state fairs, and we were asked to do the Osmonds tours.
The Osmonds, right?
And we started touring with the Osmonds, opening all their shows.
That would have been.
It was incredible.
Mental, yeah.
Well, that was right at their peak when they were like the Beatles.
Yeah.
It was mad. Donny Osmond was like the biggest thing. So sliced bread. And so we started touring with them, and we did 28 towns in 30 days with them. It was a massive tour. And the smallest audience was probably 3,000
really?
people.
Yeah.
Up to 50,000 people with the audience.
50,000?
Yeah. In Canada, we played 50,000 people.
Where was that? Was that which stadium was that at?
I can't remember. Now, but it was a big stadium.
Yeah.
And I never forget. We all, Ray and I wore white suits, the 2 white suits, and Donna wore something white, I think, on one night. And we came out to walk to the stage, which was in the middle of a massive arena, a massive stadium.
Yeah.
And we had to walk across the grass to the stage. And as we came out through the door and started to walk across, the place just screamed like crazy. They thought it was the Osmonds coming, because the Osmonds always wore white suits as well. So they were all screaming their heads up. It was like, oh my God. And
just own it, yeah.
We felt like it's not them. Anyway, we went up and got onto the stage, and we walked out on the stage, and we'd never seen anything like it. It went like this. It was like in the round.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what's it called? Strobe lighting. All the cameras are going off.
Oh,
yeah,
just blinding.
It was like strobe. It was like unbelievable. We'd never seen anything like that before. I was like, oh my God, that's incredible. And the audience was like 50,000 people. And we were a really good act. We used to get people standing up and singing along and all that, and standing on their chairs and everything. And we finished our show like that. And the whole 50,000 people were standing up, singing back to us.
50,000 people, yeah.
It was unbelievable, honestly. Fantastic.
Oh, wow. I can imagine the high after each night. It'd be quite hard to sleep. Yeah, hard to sleep, I imagine, after having so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was another gig though.
Yeah, that's it.
Still another gig.
Yeah, that's it.
But then we did England with them, with the Osmonds, and then Europe with the Osmonds as well. Oh. So we toured almost the whole world, except Australia. We never went to Australia with them. But Europe was good. And
any stories about Donny Osmond? Or
no, the only story about them was they were amazing.
Yeah.
They were fantastic, and they were exactly what you thought they were.
Yeah.
There was nothing hidden. They were just really lovely guys, nice guys, in bed at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Oh, yes, great.
They'd invite us up for a drink. Oh, come up to our room for a drink, to the hotel. We go, yeah, okay. So we all go up for a drink. And the drink was orange juice or lemonade or milk. Which they had a glass of milk. Or hot chocolate or something like that. And they'd be in their pajamas having pillow fights.
Oh, right.
Because they were little kids,
Yeah.
Donnie was still a kid.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable. So we used to go, where are the drinks? Can we have a whiskey or something? No, didn't get any of that.
Wow.
But those good days. They were great.
That's amazing. Yeah.
We sort of became friends with them in the day, and but then that was about 1973 or 74, and great, just fantastic time.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, it sounds incredible. I've got a question coming up. I heard you played at the Oscars.
Yep.
Yeah, that's How did that come
That's
about?
different.
Yeah. So from
Well, yeah, with the Springfield Revival, we were making albums, and our manager David Joseph went to see a film in America. It was called the Little Ark. The film was called The Little Ark, and there was a song in it that said it went "Come follow, follow me." It was called "Come Follow Me," and he thought that was a good song, and he got a copy of it, sent it to Keith Podker in London, and said, Keith, have a think about doing this with the group, Springfield Revival. You know, it suit them, because it was like in a Cockney accent and everything, and the other guy was a Cockney, the other guy in the band, and so Keith went, yeah, listen to it. And he said, yes, good, let's do it. So we recorded it in the UK on the album, and it's called Come Follow Me. So while we were touring with the Osmonds, when we finished the Osmonds tour, David said, come to LA and have a break, have a couple of weeks in LA, holiday, do Disneyland, or just enjoy yourselves. You've been working really hard. So we went, okay. So we went to LA for a holiday, and we'd already recorded this song back in the UK. Anyway, one morning, David picked up the paper. He was living in LA at the time. He picked up the paper, and it was all about the Oscars, the Academy Awards, and what was being nominated and all that sort of, who was being nominated and everything. And he saw on the song side of it, the song called "Come Follow Me" was being nominated for an Oscar.
Right. Yeah.
From The Little Ark.
Okay.
And he went, hang on a minute, the group recorded that. And he said, I wonder if they've got someone to do it. So he picked up the phone, he rang the Academy, and he said, I'm David Joseph, and I'm a manager of different acts. He said, I see that you've got a song called "Come Follow, Follow Me" nominated for an Oscar. Have you got somebody to sing it, to perform it? It was like a kid's sort of song, You've probably seen it, haven't you? It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen the
Oscars one.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Well, you can see it's a bit of a kid's song.
Yeah.
And he said, have you got somebody to do it? And they said, that's the only song we haven't got somebody to do it. They said, well, we've tried Glenn Campbell, and it's not really a Glenn Campbell type song. It's not this song. It's not that one. So, no, we haven't. We haven't got anybody to do that yet. Why? And he said, because I'm managing a group, a three-piece group, who've recorded the song in England, and they'd be perfect for this. They've just come off tour with the Osmonds and blah, 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 blah. He said, if I sent you over a copy, would you have a listen to it? And they said, sure, yeah, we'll listen to that. So he sent photographs and a record or something of it, a tape or whatever, over to the Academy. And they listened to it, and they phoned him back and said, yeah, they look great. They'd be terrific. We'd love that. So he said, okay, good. So he came back to us. He said, you're going to be on the Academy Awards, guys. We said, when? He said, next week.
Next week.
While we were still in LA, he
Wow.
said, you might have to extend your stay for a bit longer, but you're going to be on the Academy Awards. And we went, oh, really? It was like another gig. It was a bit like that in those days. It wasn't, not being blasé, but a gig's a gig. And we didn't realize how huge it was. I mean, really, the millions and millions of people who watched that program was incredible. Back then, even, multi-million people. And so we got all set up for it and everything, and we went and did the show.
Wow. And what was that like, playing at the Oscars?
It was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. We're walking down the red carpet, going in through.
Oh, the red carpet,
went down the carpet. But it was a funny one again. Another funny story was we had to do a backing track. We didn't have to do it, but they had to make a backing track of the song for us to sing live on the show.
Yeah.
Right. So everything had to go perfectly, and so we had to go into the studio, at the MGM studios or wherever it was in Hollywood, to do this recording, and the conductor was John Williams.
Oh.
The John Williams, right? Who conducted so many fantastic music for comedies, for these shows and everything. Anyway, he was there, and he had a 60-piece orchestra ready to do this song, dun, 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 dun. And he's going through it and everything. And he asked Ray, would you go into the booth and sing it so we can hear the voice going along with the track, with them playing. He said, yeah, sure. So Ray went in there, and Donna and I were just standing right next to the rostrum where he was conducting them.
Right.
And, and anyway, he says, okay, you ready? Here we go. And Ray starts singing.
Yeah.
He had to say, okay, kids, you ready? He had to say something like that. You ready for this or something? And then he would go, dun, 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 that point. So Ray goes, okay, kids, are you ready for this? And he went, and he didn't know where to start it. It wasn't written down, I don't suppose, I don't know. But anyway, he brought them in the wrong time. Brought the orchestra up at the wrong time. He said, "Well, stop. No, they would." He's going through the papers and everything.
Yeah.
Looking at the score and he goes, "Okay, let's try again." Okay, Ray, you ready? Yeah. And Ray says, "Ray, kids, you ready for that?" And he does it again. It's the wrong place. So he stop. And he's really finding it hard to do. And this is John bloody Williams, right? And I'm standing next to him, and I said, excuse me. I said, after he says, okay, kids, are you ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. That's where it starts. And he said, who are you? I said, I'm Mick. I'm Mick Flinn. I'm one of the group. With Ray. He said, so you know it? I said, well, yeah, we recorded it. And he said, well, you know exactly where it's got to come in. I said, well, yeah, if I hear him say what he says, I'll bring it. I could tell you where it has. He said, no, better than that. Why don't you come up and conduct the orchestra?
Really?
I said, you've got to be kidding me. No, I can't do that. I've never conducted anything,
Yeah.
He said, well, come on. So he grabs me by the hand and pulls me up onto what's it called? Onto the
I don't know what you call it. Yeah,
rostrum.
Yeah.
He calls me up and brings me onto the rostrum, and he says, okay, here's the baton. He said, when you're ready, do it. So okay. So Ray goes, okay, guess you're ready. I went, dun, dun. Off they went, and they came perfect on, right? So, and I'm going, I don't know what to do with this thing. And it got little way in, and I grabbed him and said, come on, you come and do it.
Oh, the tag
I'm not
team.
doing it. Pulled him up, pulled
Yeah.
him back up, and gave him the baton and got off again. But that was a great story.
John Williams asked you to conduct.
Yeah, conducted his orchestra. Believe it or not.
I can't think of a higher honour. Yeah.
Well, it was amazing,
Yeah.
isn't it? But again, I didn't realise how big he was either at that time.
Oh yeah, because had Jaws come out yet? Or maybe that was a bit before Jaws.
Probably, yeah. I can't.
Yeah.
Well, he was.
I know he'd already
top
done.
notch player,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Anyway, on that night, another little story was I was standing backstage,
Yeah.
and there was curtains and stuff was happening on stage, and I pulled the curtains apart just to look in and see what was going on, and I felt somebody beside me on both sides, and so I saw that. I went, that was John Wayne.
All right.
Right? And then I turned this side and I went, that was Frank Sinatra.
Oh, right.
So I was standing with John Wayne one side of me and Frank Sinatra on the other side.
While
which
peeping
was
through the
great.
curtain.
Yeah, they were looking through the curtain as well, through my curtain. I'm going, felt like saying, guys, come on, I'm trying to see something here. So, funny stuff.
Oh, wow. I wonder who won Best Actor that year and Best Actress. Can you remember? Was it The Godfather around that time?
Liza Minnelli.
Okay.
Liza Minnelli won an Oscar for that. You're not going to believe this,
Right.
but at the Oscars that night, I shared a dressing room with Michael Jackson.
No way. You shared a dressing room with
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah. we were walking down the corridor looking for our dressing room, and stopped. There's a big red door and a big star on it that said Michael Jackson, Mick Flinn, Ray Martin. Hello.
That is unbelievable. Yeah.
So and we'd just been on tour with Johnny Osmond.
Johnny. Oh yeah, they were kind of rivals
They
almost.
were rivals,
yeah,
yeah.
at the time. Yeah. How old was he at the time when
Well, he did Ben. Remember Ben?
the song?
called
Yeah,
Ben?
yeah.
That was what he was there for. So he was still young. He hadn't changed his face.
Right. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it was before plastic surgery.
Yeah. So he would have only been about 15, 14, something.
Yeah, probably about that.
Yeah.
Maybe 16. He wasn't really small. He was up a bit. In his teens, anyway.
And you were on the same bill. Yeah. Incredible. And did you have a chat with him?
Yeah, just talk about the tour and
Yeah.
The guys and everything. Yeah, it was nothing much. We didn't spend a lot of time together, but we were in the same room for a little while, and he had a bodyguard with him all the time anyway. So it was like, you know, you couldn't get that close to anyone, you know.
Oh, okay.
Not in those days. There were loads of bodyguards everywhere.
And what was he like? What was
Michael,
his,
he was cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was good. Good bloke.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. Did you just chat? I suppose you chatting about the Oscars and the. Was he on first, or were you guys on first?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But no, we just talked about touring with the Osmonds. You know, sort of what you guys doing, and we said we just come off a tour with Donnie and the boys. You know,
Oh, so yeah.
that sort of thing. You know, it was all about the tour and stuff. You know.
Yeah, but you both knew Donnie, so.
Yeah, well, you know,
and all the Osmonds.
I think he knew him better than I did.
Yeah. Was his father there, Joe Jackson? Was he?
He might have been. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't go out and meet anybody else around the place. You're sort of stuck backstage, and then you go on, you do your thing, you go backstage, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you go to the ball afterwards.
Oh, did you see him round at the ball as well?
No, I think he disappeared straight after the show.
Oh.
Like he would probably.
Because I think he was under, like it was very, again, like with everyone, just with the Osmonds and the Jacksons, it was very strict, I suppose.
Yeah, well, they were both huge artists.
Yeah.
Jackson 5 and the Osmonds as well. So he hadn't left the Jackson 5 by then. He was still in the Jackson 5.
Yeah.
I think so anyway, but I think he'd just done Ben as a solo song.
Wow. And he was obviously incredibly famous worldwide, but he hadn't shot up to the absolute superstardom that he eventually got to. Yeah. Awesome, mate. That's a hell of a story.
Well, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and also I remember you saying that you performed at Maddison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a horrible place backstage. It was dreadful.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was like a dreadful dressing rooms and everything. It was like, you know, like sportsmen's dressing rooms and all that sort of stuff. You know, like great big, massive dressing rooms.
Oh, right. Okay.
It was just horrible. But going on stage was amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And another thing happened there because halfway through our act, we were performing, and the PA went off. The whole PA went off, and we still had monitors, and so we could hear ourselves through the monitors, and it was the kids were all screaming and all that sort of stuff, and then they started screaming back, going, "We can't hear." And we go, "What?" And then our manager was standing at the side, and he said, "Get off, come off. The PA's off." And we looked around, and all the big bins were all upside down on the floor. They'd all fallen over. The bins had fallen over back onto the stage, missed our manager by about that much.
Jeez.
They fell right next to him. He was standing by the bins, and they went, crashed down. So there was nothing going out the front.
Right.
So we just had monitors thinking everything was fine. So we had to come off until they fixed the PA, and then we went back on and finished the show. But
that was a close call, yeah. Gee. So yeah, the Springfield Revival, that went on. Oh, actually, I need to ask: did you meet Marlon Brando at the Oscars?
No.
No, yeah. He might have been in the running maybe for an award.
I think he was on doing something.
Yeah.
At the time, yeah.
Because I remember seeing on YouTube, there's the footage of you all coming out on stage and.
Oh really? Well, on the Oscars?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Were we on it?
You're on it, yeah.
Really? I've never seen that one.
You're there with there's Clint Eastwood on stage and.
Well, all the big
all
stars.
All of them, yeah.
You couldn't get away from that.
And you were,
and everyone sitting in the audience were there as well.
Yeah. And you were up there with Donna and your other bandmate,
Ray,
and Mickey Mouse was there as well. Standing up there as well.
Well, you must show me that later.
I will do, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so the Springfield Revival, they you guys were smashing it, and then come 1974, was it? You decided to part ways and was it because you were?
That's when in '74 we were about to break up because we hadn't had a record. We hadn't had a hit record. We'd done everything major artists had done, but we didn't get that record. We couldn't find the right record. But we did a session with John Farrar, who was a big record producer, and a good friend of ours as well. But we'd done this track, "Stand By Your Man," with him, which was a Tammy Wynette record. She wrote it and had it out in America, and I'd remembered that, and we recorded it, and we did a new version with Donna singing it, and it was a fantastic record. And we'd been touring for months, and doing that as our new record and everything. And although it didn't get airplay, it wasn't getting airplay. It got a little bit of airplay on Radio 1, but then it was starting to dribble off a bit, and we were out on the road, and we were promoting it on stage still, and people were going into record shops asking for it, and people wanted to buy it, and I kept on saying to the record company, can you press up a whole load, give them to us, and we'll sell them at the gigs, and because people were asking for it. And they said, oh no, we're finished with that, we're not doing that. We said, well, hang on, you might be able to turn it around. And they went, no, we're not, we'll do something else next time, and they didn't want to redo it. So all that hard work we'd done promoting it, we promoted it then for Tammy Wynette, because then people were going into the record shops saying, have you got Springfield Revival singing Stand By Your Man? And they were going, no, but then Tammy Wynette's record company, American company, heard about this and put the record out in the UK.
Right.
And they said, we haven't got it by Springfield Revival, we've got Tammy Wynette doing it. And so people started buying Tammy Wynette, which was a great record anyway. She deserved it, because she was the original artist anyway. And so they bought her version, and she went to #1 with it.
Oh, right.
So another one we missed out on, but never mind.
Oh, and who wrote that song actually?
I think it was George Jones,
Okay.
her husband.
Okay,
at the
wow.
time. Anyway, so it was a massive hit for her over here, but as I say, she deserved it. She was fantastic as well. But Donna deserved it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But we deserved it.
Yeah.
But then after that, we decided, well, we'll break up. And then a record company at the time was a guy called Dick Leahy. He was the main guy there. And he said, well, before you break up, why don't you put a record out? Let's have a crack at something original. Something you've written songs, haven't you, all you guys? And we went, yeah. So he said, bring all your songs in, or everything you've written, and let me hear them. And we'll try and use one of your own records, one of your own songs as a hit, to get a hit. So we all took our songs in and sat in this room, and he listened to them all. I told you the story before, but this is how it started.
Yeah.
And Ray put his songs up, and he listened to them, and he went, okay, next, Donna. Donna put her songs up. He went, yeah, good, nice songs, but I'm waiting to hear something.
Yeah.
And so he put mine up, and I had a big reel. I was probably the most prolific writer in the group at the time, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I had more songs on my tape, and he was going through them all, and I thought they were all really good songs, like you do. And he's going, listening, and we got through most of it, and there was this little bit of tape on the end, and I knew what was coming, and there was a song I didn't think was any good, and I thought it was a silly little song, so I pressed stop, and he said, "Is that it?" I said, "Yeah, that's all I got." He said, "But what's on that bit of tape on the end there? There's still some tape on there. What's on that?" I said, "Oh, nothing. It's nothing." He said, "But what's on it?" I said, "Oh, it's just a silly little song that I wrote, and it's stupid." And he said, "Play it to me." I said, "No." I said, "I'm too embarrassed. It's embarrassing, silly little song." And so he said, "Play it. Play me the song." So I started rewinding it, and he went over and he pressed stop. He said, "Find that song and play it to me." So I went and found it again. I went, "Oh, God." And he listened to it all, and he said, "That's the best song you've written." He said, that's a great song. He said, that's a hit.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
Go in and record it. So we went and recorded it, and he was right. But he couldn't put it out. We took it back to him, and he said, "It's a great record." He said, "A great record, and it's going to be a hit." He said, "But I can't put it out." And we said, "Why?" He said, "Because it sounds too much like Fox," another group he had on his label, and a group that I really loved anyway. And I was listened to their stuff, and sort of got into their style, and I gave it that sort of foxy style, and my problem there. And so he said, "No," but he said, "If I put that out, they'll leave me. They'll walk out on me." That group. So
Okay, yeah.
So I said, "Oh, okay." So And then I was talking to Marty Kristian from the New Seekers one day, and I played it to him, and he said, "That sounds like a hit." And I said, "I know that." But we
You'd
can't
come
put
around
it
to
out.
it, yeah. You'd come
Yeah.
around to that song.
Anyway, Marty said, "Well, why don't you go and try and buy it off him? Go and buy the master
Oh, right.
for what it cost." He said, "Then go to a record company and try and get a different record company to put it out." So I said, "Well, can I do that?" And he went, "Yeah, why not?" So I went and said to Dick, "How much do you want for that? Can I buy it off you?" And he said, "Sure." I said, "How much do you want?" He said, "Whatever it costs to produce it, to record it."
Yeah.
He said, "Pay me that and you can have it, the master." So I said, "Well, how much was it?" He said, "I'll look it up." So he looked up. He said, 500 quid. I didn't have 500 quid. I didn't have a fiver at the time.
Right.
And so I went and asked an old agent of ours, Jeff. And I said, "Jeff, can you lend me 500 quid?" He said, "What for?" And I told him, and he said, "You might have that in your little bank account, So I had a look, and he said, "Yeah, you got 500 quid left over from agent stuff, stuff you've done before." So he said, "Yeah, I'll give you a check." So he gave me a 500 quid check, and I took it to EMI, and they went, "Yes, please."
Yeah.
And they bought it for 1,500 quid.
1,500.
So we made 1,000 quid.
Oh, amazing.
Which was not bad in those days.
Yeah.
And then and they put it out, and it got banned. But the radio station, Radio 1, wouldn't play it because they said it was too suggestive.
Oh.
The lyric was too suggestive when you think about it. It's not the way that you do it, but how you do it to me. It was a bit silly, really.
They banned it, and yet they had Jimmy Savile hosting
exactly.
Top of the Pops.
You weren't going to mention his name.
Oh, yeah, I did. Sorry. Yeah.
£10 fine.
That's it, yeah.
So that was amazing. And then the weird thing that happened with that was it got banned, so nothing was happening. And Molly Meldrum from Countdown, he was an old friend of mine from Australia anyway.
Okay.
And he was getting some interviews he was interviewing people around the world for Countdown to go onto his program, little interviews and stuff. So he rang me up and he said, "I'm coming over to London." He said, "Can I interview you like this, have a chat, find out what you've been up to and what you're doing?" I said, "Yeah, sure." From the mixture stage, And anyway, he came and we were chatting, and he said, "What are you up to?" And I said, "Well, I've done this and done that." And I said, "I've just done this record with Donna, and it's been banned." And, he said, "Have you got a video of it?" And I said, "Yeah, we had a video made, really great video." And he said, "Well, can you give me a copy of the video?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And he said, "Well, I'm leaving tomorrow morning from Heathrow at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or something." He said, "Can you get it to me at Heathrow? Can you drop it over?" I said, "Yeah, I'll bring it over to you," because I had to find it and all that sort of stuff. And so the next morning I drove over to Heathrow and gave him the tape before he flew away to America. He was going to America to interview McCartney and Elton John and all these other people, massive stars. He'd been over here doing everybody as well, Bowie and all those other guys. And when he was in America, he had the thing. He didn't look at it. He hadn't looked at it. And about a month later, he rang me up and he said, "Sorry to say this," he said, "but I've lost that video." I said, "Well, how come?" That's the only video I had, that one tape, proper videotape. And I said, what happened? He said, "Well, when I was in America," he said, I lost a lot of stuff. He said, I went to the airport and forgot to take a bag from the hotel. I left it all in a bag in the hotel somewhere." He said, "They can't find it. No one's found it and haven't sent it back to me or anything." He said, "I'm still trying." He said, "But I just want to let you know." I said, "Okay." And then a couple of weeks later, he rang me again. He said, "Oh, by the way, I just got it back." He said, the hotel found the bag and they've sent it back to me. He said, "I've just got it." And he said, "I've just played it and just had a look." He said, "I love it." He said, "It's fantastic." He said, "Great video and great song and everything." And he said, "So I'm going to put it on the show next week. I'm going to put it on Countdown. On next Saturday." I said, "Oh, okay." So he put it on, but he only put on like 30 seconds of it, just showed a tiny bit of the video.
Yeah.
And he said, he rang me up and he said, "I've just played it, just put it on the show." He said, and all the phones went mad. He said, all the phones lit up and everyone wants to see more of it. People are saying, "What's that song? We want to see more of that video. Show it to us." So he said, I'm going to have to show it again next week. He said, but who put it out? I said, EMI. He said, well, I'll try and get EMI in Sydney to get it out, to put it out. I said, okay. The next week later, he rang me back and he said, phones went crazy again. He said, I only showed another 30 seconds. So he'd only shown a minute of the video as a 3-minute song. He said, but I can't keep doing this forever. He said, EMI in Sydney had never heard of it. So you're going to have to get something sent to me or sent to them from here, from London. So I said, okay. So he put it on the next week and same thing happened. He said, right, you've got one more go. He said, that's it. And once I've done that, he said, if you can't get that if you can't get that tape to EMI and get it released, you're going to lose it. You're going to miss the hit.
Right.
You're going to miss out on it. So I said, okay. So I went into EMI in London, to International, in EMI International, and I told him the whole story. And he said, okay. I said, what can we do? It's got to be there before next Saturday. I mean, there was you couldn't send anything via, MP3s or any of that stuff. That wasn't available, right? It had to be taken, shipped or flown, right? So he said, got to be there by Saturday. He said, that's all right, I can sort that. He said, I've got a friend who's a pilot.
All right.
For British Airways pilot, and he flies to Australia. So he rang him up and he said, if I give you a master tape, this box, a master tape, could you take it by hand to Melbourne or Sydney and just drop it off and give it to somebody from EMI if they meet you at the airport? And he said, yeah, sure, no problem. All right. So he gave it to the pilot.
Really?
He flew the plane. I mean, it's incredible. How would that happen? Anyway, he gave it to the guy, and they picked it up at the airport. Like 2 days later, it was in Sydney.
Right. Yeah.
The record was put out, and he showed the whole video that next Saturday. And within probably about 3 or 4 weeks, it was #1.
Really? Yeah.
For 8 weeks, stayed at
8
#1.
weeks.
8 weeks. Incredible.
That's phenomenal. Yeah. All from the song you thought was the worst you'd ever written.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you never know.
That's it. Yeah. I read something about that song online.
All right.
I'll see if I can get it up now. So the way that you do it, released in 1975. This was by the Mayor Sir Bruce Small. The song is obviously intended to be highly suggestive, and in my judgment, it is pornographic. So the fact that it was banned by the BBC speaks for itself. If I could ban it, I would. And parents should be more aware of the kind of songs their kids are listening to. If he heard what was released today, he'd have a heart attack.
I know.
That's just...
Exactly.
That is bizarre, yeah.
Relax, don't do it.
Oh, well. And then, Donna's responding saying, I never sang it as a suggestive song. What it meant was the way a person is attracted to another. If it is dirty, then what about the old song?
It's not what you do, but the way that you do it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember that one? It's not what
Yeah.
you do, it's the way that you do it.
That's it, yeah.
That's what gets results.
Yeah, exactly. It's bizarre, they just sort of went, that sort of raised all the alarms for them, that song.
I know, amazing, isn't it? But today now...
Can you imagine? Pussyfoot, that went on for about 5 or so years?
No, probably about 3 years. 3 or 4 years, yeah.
And was there
probably more like 4 or 5 years, possibly. Oh. We did went into a lot of disco stuff after a while.
Oh, cool.
More disco than pop.
Yeah. And you had a #3 hit in Australia, I remember you saying as well.
Yeah, that was the follow-up to The Way You Do It. That was called Ooh Ja Ja.
Oh, okay.
That was a hit. The same sort of time. And then then we had some stuff in South America as well. She had a couple of hits in South America with a couple of disco records that she had out.
Oh,
good.
Amazing. And was there a lot of touring happening as well?
Not a lot, no.
Yeah.
No, she did a few gigs and stuff around the place, but it wasn't. We were trying to get the big hit record in this country. Although Australia was all right. We toured Australia, of course. We went out and toured Australia with Pussyfoot with The Way You Do It. While that was at #1, we were touring.
Wow.
Around Australia and stuff, but over here they didn't know about it, so.
Okay, so
that's the only thing she wished it was on her home ground.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
So what were the gigs like with Pussyfoot?
Oh, they were great.
Yeah.
A lot of small gigs, but that was all that was around at the time.
Yeah.
She wasn't big enough to do big arenas and massive things like that, but it was enough. She was pretty busy.
And were you playing guitar
No,
or
I wasn't
bass?
playing guitar. I was just tour managing, and I was managing her at the time.
Okay.
And I did a couple of songs with her on stage.
Oh,
That's
nice.
about it. Yeah, we
Right.
did some duet things.
Amazing. Did you write all the songs for Pussyfoot, or was it a collaboration?
No, it was all different songs, but
Yeah.
the way you do it, and a couple of other songs that were part of her were on stage as well. But only about 3 or 4, I suppose, songs that I'd written or whatever were on there. The rest of them were different covers of different songs that suited her act.
Brilliant.
It's
Yeah.
good though. Yeah.
What was your favourite memory from that Pussyfoot era before we head on to the?
The Pussyfoot times.
yeah.
Well, just being number one. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we got a call at the airport saying that she just got a number one and all that sort of stuff before we'd arrived there and everything. It was just incredible.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Yeah.
That story with the pilot is. I love that.
Amazing.
Imagine today, just sending, someone had to get a record.
That's why I've got
across
such a positive attitude.
yeah.
Because stuff can happen.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Anything's possible.
Yeah, you don't go on but the only thing that didn't happen, which was silly, because when EMI, when it was banned by the BBC, I said to EMI, okay, they've banned it, now we should tell everybody it's been banned, and get Donna on the back of a truck and drive up and down Oxford Street blasting out the song.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And have her singing it on the back of a truck.
Yeah.
This song was banned by the BBC, and then to see what happens, just get press on it.
Why not? Yeah.
And they went, no, we can't do that. We can't upset the BBC. And I went, oh, yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Because did it get any playtime at all before it was banned in the UK, or was it just straight away?
No, she just wouldn't put it on the playlist.
Right. Yeah.
It didn't make the playlist because of that.
Oh damn.
So that was a bit rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shame. It was a shame.
Oh, you smashed it in Australia.
But she had number 1 record. Not many people have number
That's
ones,
it. Yeah, exactly. And it's great to have a story alongside it. It's amazing to have a song banned yet still make it to number 1 in another country. Yeah, I don't think many people can say that.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
phenomenal.
Good.
Oh,
yeah, and it meant something for me as well because I was Australian.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It meant something for both of us.
Yeah, have a number 1 hit in Australia that you wrote. Yeah.
And my dad was still alive to see her. So that was good.
That's amazing. And did your family, did they join you guys on the tour?
No, not really. No. It was too hard. Too much travelling.
A lot of moving about.
Yeah.
Did you play in any rural towns as well, or was it just the main cities?
Oh no, we played everywhere.
Oh right.
Did loads of stuff. Little country towns, all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
That's Australia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Little country towns all over the place. Oh. Yeah, wherever we can get a gig, it was done. Glenn Wheatley sorted it out. He organised the whole tour and sorted it out for us. It was good. We're all mates, So you want anything done, you ring your mate.
Yeah.
Hey mate, give us a hand. It's good stuff.
Did you ever play in Dunsborough? Is that name ring a bell?
No,
or?
not Dunsborough. That doesn't ring a bell. Where is that?
It's just in the southwest of Australia, about 3 hours south of Perth.
Oh, right.
It's near Margaret River. And,
no, we went to Perth.
Yeah.
Nowhere else there.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's amazing, yeah.
In that area.
Touring all around. And then I suppose after that, because I saw something to do with Eurovision. So you weren't actually...
We had, I wrote a song called I Want to Be Me.
I saw it, yeah.
And that went up for, before Eurovision, there's a song for Europe. And people put up songs to be chosen to represent UK in the Eurovision, to get through to the Eurovision. So what songwriters would all write different songs for Eurovision, and they put it towards to this like BBC judging area, and you've given your song, and it was called a song for Europe, and they would choose, say, 10 songs out of the hundreds of songs that were sent in for Europe, for the Eurovision, and they would choose these 10 artists, or whoever they were, all their songs, to be put on TV in the UK, played one. You couldn't have had it on TV before, so it had to be a first time ever seen on this Song for Europe. and so we got "I Want to Be Me" put on. They accepted it, and so Donna had the Pussyfoot. We had to put a band together, Pussyfoot band, and we went on and did "I Want to Be Me." But it was very punky. It was a very punky song. Have you heard it? Have you seen it?
I've seen it.
Oh, you've
You
seen
guys
that one,
performing it on. It's a
Yeah.
YouTube video of it. Yeah.
I mean, it's a really good song. It's a great song. I think could have been really good for Eurovision. We came about third or fourth, I think.
Yeah, I saw it here.
Which wasn't bad. But unfortunately, we didn't win that, so we couldn't get onto Eurovision.
Oh, so what's it actually called before getting on to Eurovision?
Song for Europe.
Song for Europe. Okay.
It was a TV show called A Song for Europe.
Okay.
And they put 10 songs up, and then they'd judge it, and then they'd vote on the one song out of the 10 to go to Eurovision. And we just missed it.
It's a shame because I remember people saying that it was a fantastic song. That I was reading about it, and it was like a sort of could have been.
Yeah,
people
yeah.
really describing it as a.
Yeah,
and
it really could have done.
Yeah.
And it probably might have been better for us to do that.
Yeah.
Than the one they chose, because the one they chose was very Eurovision style, and that was not Eurovision style. That was a bit more younger and pumpier, and yeah.
They were saying something about it being a bit suggestive as well. Like, ironically, that.
I Want to Be Me.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's have a look. I'll see where I found this.
Oh God! Too raunchy.
Too raunchy for British taste. Yeah.
Well, it was quite punky. It wasn't raunchy meaning sexy.
Yeah.
It was just too, I suppose, just
edgy,
like punky and
yeah.
edgy. Yeah.
There we go. I got
That's
it mixed up. Yeah. And then this is actually showing me quite a bit of good stuff here. Black Lace. That's.
Oh, Black Lace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I co-wrote a song for them.
Yeah. Okay.
To the Conga.
They did the Hokey Coke. Is that the Hokey Coke?
No, they did Agadoo.
Oh.
Agadoo, do.
Oh, cool. And what was your?
The one?
I don't know that one.
Was do. Come on and do the conga. Choo, 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 like a train across the floor.
Oh, really? That's yours.
It was number 7. Got to number
amazing.
7 in the charts here. Sold about 2 million copies, I think it was. It was a big record. Big record, but they didn't get much play on it, unfortunately. The radio stations didn't like Black Lace.
Oh, right.
The trouble with Black Lace, well, not trouble with them, was the Agadoo was quite, I don't know, bit of a weird song, Agadoo, do. It was, like a bit cheesy, I suppose. That's the word I was looking for, cheesy, as a song. So when they came out with another one, which was similar style, which was do, come on and do the conga, people congering around the place.
Yeah.
They thought it was a bit cheesy as well, so they didn't give them much airplay.
Oh, right.
But it still didn't stop it from going up the charts.
So did well, yeah.
Yeah, and selling a lot of records.
Awesome.
So that was good. It was a funny one, that one.
Yeah. And that at this time you would have been in the New Seekers, right?
No, 80. That was yes, it would have been. Yeah, I bet it was 83. I think 83 or 84. The Conga came out.
Yeah.
I was Donna and I both joined the New Seekers in 1981. I think it was.
And was that straight out of Pussyfoot, or did you spend a bit of time?
It was after Pussyfoot.
Having a break.
We have 70. We gave up Pussyfoot about 70. Oh no, sorry, what am I talking about? 78.
Okay, yeah, 78, yeah.
Yeah, about that, 78, 79. We got married.
Oh, yeah, nice. Had a bit of time to yourselves, yeah.
A bit of time, and then the New Seekers had broken up a couple of times, and they were asked to do a Russian tour.
Right.
A tour of the whole USSR for 8 weeks, and Leanne, our daughter, was probably about 7 or 8 months old, or maybe a bit more, I don't know, 9 months, and. So then Donna said, hang on, just had a baby, a child.
Yeah.
They want me to go away for 8 weeks to Russia. So, it was up there, and I was to go as a road manager, tour manager, and also to sit in for Marty Kristian for a week, be a New Seeker for a week.
Oh, perform as well,
Because his wife was having their first child at the same time, so he wanted to be there for the birth of the child. So I was Marty for a week, and then went back to tour managing and sound and all that stuff. And then and after the tour, I ended up joining the group.
And actually performing
And being a New Seeker from then on. For 30 years we were New Seekers.
Wow. So,
Crazy.
and you were saying people mistaking, people thought you were Marty Kristian.
Well, we just didn't tell them there was no Marty Kristian.
Oh, right.
But in Russia, I don't suppose the names of the people were that important.
Yeah.
Because Russia didn't know much about the West, that sort of stuff. So I just went on. I look a bit like Marty. I had the same Australian accent. We were mates, and we were the same sort of thing. So I just went on for the first week, did all some of the big gigs, and then Marty joined us after a week. That was good.
Oh, it's awesome.
Good tour.
You toured the USSR, and yeah. What was that like?
Oh, it was a fantastic country, but the food was dreadful.
Oh, right.
A whole lot of it.
And did you went all around the world with the New Seekers, right?
Yeah. We went. We went to Asia a lot. Different places, Africa and all that sort of good gigs. Some really fantastic gigs. We did a lot of stuff. A lot of European stuff. A lot of German gigs.
Yeah.
With all the oldies.
Yeah.
Us oldies.
Oh, yeah. Carrying amazing, like 30-year run with the Seekers.
Yeah.
New Seekers.
Yeah.
I remember when Oasis released a song called Shaker Maker. They copied the melody from.
Yeah.
Was there around that time?
Wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Teach the world to sing.
And was that straight away you guys picked up on it? Oh, we got to get,
Well, we didn't write it. No.
But they
didn't write. The New Seekers didn't write it.
Oh yeah, it was via marketing duo, wasn't it?
But if they wanted to chase them, they would have chased them over that.
Right.
Didn't matter to us.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Guess it brought more attention to that song as well.
Probably, yeah. But it was a massive hit for the New Seekers when it was out, and huge hit. So 7 million records or something.
Wow. and the New Seekers was all formed by a guy called, is it Keith?
Keith Polka, original Seeker.
He was the original. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And how long did he continue with the New Seekers?
He was with them for probably their first 9 months. Just going on stage with them, introducing them, because he was one of the original Seekers, so he took the New Seekers out onto the road, but went out and sang with them and everything, and then introduced this is the New Seekers. These are 5 new people, and they're going to take our music and do this and that and the rest of it. And then he pulled away when they had their first hit, Never Ending Song of Love. They put out a song called that, and that was their first hit. Or no, look what they've done to My Song, Ma. That was their first in America. They had a small hit with it there, and then Never Ending Song of Love here, and then that was a different style to the old Seekers. So Keith stepped aside, let them take on a whole new entity.
Wow, yeah.
And they did. They're amazing.
Yeah.
They had 10 top 10 records.
The New Seekers.
Yeah, 10 top 10 records.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. And about 3 or 4 of those were #1s, and the rest were like 3s, 5s.
Yeah.
Or high up there. Top 10 records. Unbelievable. So they had a great run.
Yeah, and you guys carried it through.
They broke up a couple of times. The girls, first two girls wanted to go alone for a while, so forever, and they left the first two, and that was Eve Graham and Lynn Paul, and they were the 2 main singers of all the hits.
Yeah.
And then the boys got 2 other girls in, very similar, but then they had a small hit, I think. Then Eve came back into the group for a while, and they had a hit with her again, and then they moved out, and somebody else came in, and somebody else came in. It kept changing, so there was no good identity in the group, and so then the Russian thing came up, and they asked Donna to come and join them.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
Because we're all mates anyway. And Donna sings very similar to the rest of them. She's great, nice voice, lovely. So it was all good.
Were you mates with the original Seekers as well?
Well, I knew them all,
Yeah.
because they're all from Melbourne.
Wow, yeah. My grandpa's favourite band, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we had them playing at his funeral, actually. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I'll tell Keith.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Keith is, yeah. Is
Keith's still here, yeah.
Is he
Still around. He's in Australia.
Oh, cool. He's, which part of Oz is he in? Is he in Melbourne?
He's Melbourne, yeah.
Melbourne, okay. Oh, wow, yeah. Oh, cool.
Lovely guy.
Yeah, great to chat to him someday. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're ever in Melbourne, you want to talk to somebody, I'll put you into Keith.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, that 30-year run with the New Seekers looks... I mean, I guess the music industry must have changed quite a lot from when... Well, I mean, from when you started to now, but in that run with the New Seekers, did anything change a lot with regards to how you toured or performed?
Not really, no.
Because I suppose it had
they
a
were all
life
from the
of
same
its own.
era, so it was always virtually the same as we'd already known. Springfield Revival was very similar to the New Seekers anyway, so we just rolled on.
Yeah, you had your audience. You had
And we did the same. We did the same act everywhere, so we got over it a bit at the end. We were sort of going, we've got to change things. We've got to do other things, and we'd all had enough in the end, so we just gave in.
Was it 2010 or 2011?
About 11, it's about 2011 we stopped, I think, 2010, 11. And that's when I started Mick Flinn Band.
Yeah, Mick Flinn Band.
Yeah, just did that.
Curl and Mo, yeah.
And Donna's still, we're both still performing. Donna comes and sings sometimes with my group, and also she does a lot of jazz stuff now, so.
Oh, amazing, never stop, That's so good.
Well, while you can do it, keep doing it. If you can't do it, don't do it.
I just wanted to get your opinion on how it actually works, how the music industry works today with streaming and social media and TikTok, Instagram.
Don't ask me.
Don't ask me, yeah.
I'd hate to be in the business now. I'd hate to be trying.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be young and starting off.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it's hard work.
Yeah.
And it hasn't got the meaning that it had before. I mean, before all this social media and all those things, you had to work your butt off.
Yeah.
You had to really work hard. Now, I mean, I'm not saying they don't work hard, but it's a bit easier to promote yourself. And it's like, oh, we'll just stick it on social media.
Yeah.
Or we'll just stick it on YouTube, and everyone will go mad for it. And it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
It's got to be special for people to go mad about it. You know, I put loads of songs up on YouTube, and you might get 200 views or 500 views or 1,000 views, but you're not getting 2 billion views. I'm not anyway. And it's like you go, well, hang on a minute, what's going on? So what? You got 200 views. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing, and you're not making any money out of anything. I mean, there's nothing like actual selling a piece of plastic for £1.50 or £2 or £3 or £5 or whatever it costs. There's nothing like actually people walking and wanting to buy it.
Yeah.
People don't want to buy anything anymore. They want it all for nothing.
Yeah.
They want to be able to stream everything from TV, from nothing, or from the computers. It's mad, it's unbelievably mad. And people go, oh, I love your music. Well, how much do you love my music?
Yeah.
If you love it that much, do you want to buy it off me for 25 quid for my album, or £5 for my album, or £10? Oh, no, not sure about that. Is it on Spotify? Is it on this? Is it on that one?
Yeah.
And you go, no. And they go, well, so do you want to buy it off me? No, that's all right. How much do you love it? I mean, everything's amazing. Oh, it's amazing.
Very artificial, yeah.
What is amazing? What's amazing? Nothing. It's like, drives you nuts.
Yeah.
It's all false. Everything seems to be false these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
False news, false pictures of people, videos of people is false. I mean, look at Suno, or Sonu, isn't it? Sonu?
Sonu.
The where you put your song in and it gives you back another song in about 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Sounding amazing. Is it? Suno it's called, isn't it?
Oh, okay. So you put your song in, and it'll.
It's AI.
Oh, okay. Or you give it a prompt and it writes the song for you.
Or you can prompt. Yeah, you can say, write me a song that sounds like the Beatles.
Oh yeah, sure.
And in this style or in this style, blah blah blah, and there's a few words. Throw in a few words. It's got to be about a guy and a girl meeting in a car, and falling in love, and then getting out of the car and going for a swim in the pool, and then going down the beach the next day and getting married. And they'll come up with this stupid song, or a song, and it'll sound amazing, because everyone goes, oh, it sounds amazing, because it's perfectly recorded. Well, it's not even recorded, but it's perfectly put together on a computer, on this big thing. And vocals are all perfect. Everything's just too perfect. And it's like, what's that? I mean, yeah, okay, it sounds great, but analyze it a little bit more. Think a bit more about it.
Yeah.
How great is it?
Yeah.
Is it being written by somebody from their heart, or is it just pulled out of the air and thrown together from
from databases.
from databases all over the world?
Yeah.
You know, pick this and pick that, and you go, oh, it's amazing, because it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It sounds great, and it's perfectly produced. The mix is absolutely perfect. Drives me nuts.
Doesn't have any heart though.
I mean, I've done a couple myself. I've done a few things myself on it occasionally, just to see what's going down, you know, just to understand it a bit more. And you hear it back and you go, oh, it's great, but none of your soul's in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I sort of find it really difficult to even think, well, I could do that on stage, but why would I do it on stage? I haven't written it. Well, I've written the lyric, or I've written and a melody that I put in, but it's changed that a little bit and put something else in it, and you think, but that wasn't what I wanted. I know, I love it. I love the sound of it, but it's not what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's difficult to explain, really, all that social media thing.
And so if you were starting out now, would you have been too put off by social media, or do you still think you would have wanted to pursue music regardless, and to get those hits and do what it
Well, I've been
takes
through it the other way.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no. I would change, because I would never change the thing
Yeah.
that I've already been through, right from day one to now. Everything I've done has meant something to me, you know, big time. It's always meant a lot to me. Everything I do, every time I do a gig, it's great.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. It's not like, oh, I need to do that. I love it. I just still love gigging, and I love to see people having a good time. You know, like watch an audience dance, wave their hands in the air and sing along with this and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's just, there's nothing better than that. You know, just seeing people enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And it's incredible, really, isn't it? I
That's
mean,
what it's all about, yeah.
You know, standing outside a tube station, if you've got 2 people standing there,
It means the world.
and then you get another 50 people, you go, oh, hang on, I've got a crowd. This is great, you know.
Oh, it's actually one of the best days of my life, having a crowd like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you told me you had a bigger crowd somewhere else, 200 or something, didn't you?
Well,
on your.
I think we got close to. We got probably a 50 around. And that to me, that was mind blowing, because
Well, it's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
Out in the street.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I had it all on film, so I counted the amount of people there. I was like, yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. Well, you know the buzz. You know the buzz, and you do your own songs, and you know what that means to you. How do you feel about all this social media thing? Do you think that's...
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's good to promote you. I suppose it's great to promote you, but is it going to get you any more gigs, or is it...
Yeah, I think it becomes a lot more of a content game rather than a music game. I think that's one of the hardest things to deal with as a musician, is almost coming to terms with the fact that really, to get noticed, you have to consistently be uploading videos every single day. And I guess I'm doing my thing with the busking challenge, but it's more like a TV show documentary. I'm sort of having to tell the story of this journey a lot to promote that, and then obviously,
yeah, but it's got meaning. It's got a good meaning for it.
Yeah,
You're doing a good thing for a good cause.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
You know, well, no, seriously, you
Yeah.
are. You're doing a great thing for a really good cause. So it's not like you're just doing it to make money out of it as much as you can make for yourself. You're doing it to help other people, and that's more important.
And that's been so. The best part, one of the best things about this journey, is just meeting so many kind people along the way, and seeing how many people are willing to help out and get behind something, a good cause. And yeah, especially down this part of the net line, it was sensational. After getting to Chorleywood, things just exploded along the Met line. Yeah, had never seen anything like it before. Having crowds of people come down, and yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the thing with rising ticket prices. That's another thing I wanted to ask.
For gigs, you mean?
Yeah, for gigs. Yeah, because musicians, they don't really make money from streaming now. Not like compared to when there were sales.
No.
So I guess a lot of their main source of income comes from touring, really, and that just becomes so expensive for a lot of people to. It's shooting up. I read that it's gone up about 500% since the 90s. Yeah, and it's a shame, isn't it?
But the thing is, I mean, weird things like when I was in the 80s, in the early 80s, I had a little blues band in London. I was a member of a blues band, and we were really, really, really good blues band. And we used to play in this pub at Camden on a Friday night and pack the place out. It was a really good, great night. And in those days, in about 81 or 82, we were paid 200 quid to do that gig.
Right. Yeah.
And it was packed.
Yeah.
And everyone's drinking, like, throwing them back. And we were paid 200 quid. And if you went to get a gig in Camden today, how much do you reckon they'd pay you? 200 quid.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd be lucky to get 200 quid.
Yeah, for sure.
But, for a band, that's between the 4 guys who are working their butts off to make people happy or to sell more beer for the pub. They still only get 200 quid. So that's what 40 years later.
Yeah.
And it hasn't gone up.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And most I don't do pubs anymore. Because I won't deal with people like that. But you think about gigs now, out and about, anywhere around this area or anywhere, bands are lucky to get a couple hundred quid.
Yeah.
Most of them, they'll try and knock them down to 100 quid. It's like, come on.
It's a shame, yeah.
What's more important about your whole gig is a good band to make people dance and have a good time, and you won't pay them anything. It's like, that's virtually nothing. And because it's not just about walking on stage for 3 hours, it's getting set up to do it, put the PA up, pull it down afterwards. It's a whole day's job.
Yeah.
To do a gig, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
for nothing.
Yeah, it's such a shame, and I don't know how really
It's never going to change.
Yeah. I guess with the convenience of streaming, as so long as people keep streaming music and not buying it, then I suppose naturally the
music business is going to fall down.
Yeah,
it's not going to carry on.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate, I think. But while it's still going, enjoy it.
Yeah.
While you still got a gig and while you can still do things like this.
Yeah.
And do it and enjoy it. But who knows how long it's going to last? I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah. And to finish on a positive note.
Positive, yeah.
Yeah. I just
say yes to everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just wanted to ask you, what advice would you give to someone who's starting out today?
Don't do it. Think very carefully before you go.
Yeah.
Just do as much as you can. Do as many gigs as you can. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Is what you're doing every day of the week. He's going to nearly every day. He goes to a different station and stands outside and sings. That's what you got to do. Otherwise, you can't expect to do it all on social media and just go, I'll put this fantastic song out, made by AI. No one's going to know the difference between AI and a recorded piece, are they?
Yeah.
Because all they're going to know is this AI stuff.
That's it.
From kids now, they don't know about recordings and going into a recording studio and putting tape on a machine and all that stuff. That's not going to exist. But new musicians, just get out and do as many gigs as you can.
Yeah.
And enjoy having people around you and enjoying your music. That's all.
Brilliant.
I would say.
And what advice would you give to your younger self when you were first starting out in the 60s? If there's anything you could say to your younger self,
do the same thing.
Exactly the same. Yeah,
Same.
It's all worked out brilliantly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it just works out what it is.
Yeah.
For me, it's been great fun. It's been fantastic. You know, I'm not a major superstar or any of that sort of stuff. I've had some success, which is great. And like you're having success, and you'll have more success as you go on. Just got to do it. Just keep doing it.
I love it.
Yeah,
Thank
mate.
you so
Well
much,
done.
Mick. That's
It's
brilliant.
okay.
I love that. Should we do the Pushbike Song just to finish
do you
off?
want-
Yeah, we gotta.
We must. Oh, okay. If I can remember the words. It's been a long time.
I'll just check the thing. Check the camera's rolling. Yeah, perfect.
Riding along on the pushbike, honey, when I notice you. Riding along like a hurricane, honey, down south of you. You look so pretty as you're riding along. You look so pretty as you were singing that song. Well, I put in the speed and I tried catching up, but you were pedaling harder too. Riding along like a hurricane, honey, spinning out of you. You look so pretty as you were riding along. You look so pretty as you were singing that song. Sing the song. Round, round, wheels going round, round, round. Down, up, pedals down, up, down. But I gotta get across to the other side of town before the sun goes down. Hey, hey. Now we're riding along on a bicycle, honey. That's a bicycle built for two. I'm looking at my honey in the rearview mirror. Now I got a better view. You look so pretty as you're riding along. You look so pretty as you were singing that song. Sing the song. Around, round, wheels going round, round, round. Down, up, pedals down, down, down. But I've got to get across to the other side of town before the sun goes down. Hey, shh, ooh, ooh, shh, ah, shh, ooh, ooh, shh, ah, shh, ooh, ooh, shh, ah, shh, ooh, ooh, shh. That's all.
Thank you so much. That was brilliant.
Great.
Thank you. That was
Thanks, mate.
it's such a amazing to
everyone.
play that. Cheers, guys. Until next time.
Cool.